This content is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another very special episode of Pokemon D&D, a one-shot in our second part to our adventure from pre-Christmas, the Skies Shone Red. We are joined by some very special guests. We have Alyssa. Alyssa, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Oh, just living the dream.
Oh, I hate it when you say that.
Hi, my name's Alyssa. You can find me on Twitter as the Lighter Arts. I do a bunch of pixel art, mainly for Pokemon tabletops. I've provided some of the pixel art that you see in the normal campaign, as well as the icon or the trainers for this one shot. Additionally, I do some D&D icons and player tokens, a whole bunch of that stuff. And if you ever need a commission, you can come over to me on Twitter.
Haha, that's right. Alex, how are you?
I am excellent. Thanks for having me back.
Oh, it's a dream.
Aw. So flattered. Yeah, that's me. I'm Alex. I'm one of the people from House Bob. I'm also the Astro Guy on Twitch for the 2 times a year that I use a Twitch. Yeah, but if you care about the kind of cool podcast stuff I work on, the House of Bob is a D&D thing, and good friends of the Hivestream.
Yeah, Alex does amazing work. I've seen him in a few different facets of my life, and he's done great things audio-wise and person-wise in and
Make
around.
me blush.
Mm-hmm. And Melissa.
I'm Melissa. I'm only a casual artist and casually on Hivestream.
Yeah, and I'm Steven, your Pokemon master for tonight. Also the regular DM on our regular stream, and of course I do arts and stuff. You can find me at Steven Rosia on Twitter.
Yeah, mine is also on there, but I'm not that good.
Special shout outs to WeirTag or WearTag, who for the recent follow, Clueless Wonder 42, and one other whose name isn't showing up, but we'll figure that out later. Thank yous to Alyssa, also found at the Lighter Arts on Twitter, for the Pokemon trainer tokens that we are using here today, and also the ones that you see on our regular stream. They're wonderful, and we very much appreciate having them.
They're great.
Thank you to Kevin MacLeod of Incompetech.com for the music you're hearing right now, and probably on every other produced thing on the internet, and even on the radio. I hear a few of his jingles these days. Thank you to Mikkel_Beats, also on Twitter, for the Pokey and Chill soundtrack, which is a lovely addition to this stream. And thank you to Joe the DM, additionally on Twitter, also found on his personal Discord, for the Pokemon 5e homebrew that we are using today. You can find out more about that at www.pokemon5e.com. Toss him some dollars in his coffee account. He very much enjoys it and deserves it for all the hard work that he's put in. So, is everybody ready to get this ball rolling?
Sure.
I was born ready.
Okay, so what we usually do with our regular campaigns is when we come back from a break, I will have one of you guys, and I'll roll a dice to determine, to give a recap as to what happened last time. There's a few different reasons for that, but we won't get into the ideology right now. You guys cool with that?
Yeah. I was hoping you were going to recap us, but yeah, let's do it.
The nervous set in.
Alyssa, can you please tell us what happened last time?
Oh, thank God.
You loser.
Uh-oh, she's already ran away.
Sorry, I had muted myself, and yeah. So basically, what happened last time was we had followed rumors to what's the name of the place?
Oh.
I
Did
don't
we have
remember
a
the name. I don't know. Did we?
There is. Yeah, so this is sort of the Mossy Cliffs region in the far north of Wundoro.
Yeah, so we followed rumors that there was a red comet that constantly passed through this location. Rumor has it that it was probably had to do with a Pokemon. So we went over to it, discovered this like barren field of just it almost looked like a comet had landed, but we deduced that it was definitely a bird-like Pokemon that had struggled with a bunch of potential poachers and then had been taken away. We followed those tracks and eventually found where it was being kept, and then we broke in, broke some noses, and now we're all hell's breaking loose.
Yeah, that
More or
that
less.
basically sums it up, which is going to bring us to right now. Get the right tune going here. So, where we left off last time, Blair and Maggie had gotten into a bit of a scuffle with one of the poachers up on top of these shipping crates at the edge of the fort. You guys were scuffling in an office and kind of broke out onto the balcony. While that was happening, Todd had gone around to the front of the building, smashed one of the locks, and burst in. At this point in time, there's not really any subtlety to what is happening here.
Anymore.
Todd is definitely drawing stares from
We're
a
in the
number
building.
of the other individuals in this fort, 3 other individuals that he can see from his vantage, that are sort of scattered about. They now recognize that there is a intruder in their midst. Directly in front of him is this massive flaming bird Pokemon that Blair had identified as a Moltres earlier. This legendary bird, wreathed in flames, powerful, just emanating this heat and majesty from its body. At the moment, seems to be tied with a number of tethers that are glowing red. Its beak likewise is tied shut, and flames are lapping from its nostrils and dripping down the little bits of its mouth that it can get open. Every now and then it calls out to the sky and lets out a very muffled plume of smoke and flame, the little bit that it manages to shoot out from its mouth. I do have our initiative here, and we will continue from where we were, top of the round, with these new contenders. First up on the initiative is Maggie. Maggie, you are currently inside the office, over here on the rightmost side. That is 20 feet up from the floor area.
Are we on the map currently?
No, let me set you
Nope, that's why I was
Yeah, I was like,
snapping
wait,
and
where?
pointing at Steven going,
there. There you go. That should put you over there.
Okay, where am I?
So your character is currently off the board here,
the map.
but you would be over in this area here. Okay, so you're just inside the office.
Okay.
Same with Blair, but you can see her Ursaring, which has poked its head out to confront this individual. There's been a little bit of a tussle thus far.
That's not the guy that we knocked out and then threw his Ekans in a box.
No,
he never
you.
managed to throw his Ekans in a box, and
Aw,
I never
darn.
managed to tie him up. I failed the tie up,
Aw.
and you failed the Ekans in a box.
Dang it.
But Ursaring does have him grappled. I had an argument with Steven
Fantastic.
about it.
So it is your turn, though. You were just inside that door.
What's the state of the Ekans?
So that Ekans there, I don't think you've done very much to him. Let me just double check. Yeah, that Ekans is looking pretty much pristine. You guys haven't touched it beyond manhandling it a little bit, trying to dump it into the box.
Alright. Let's go with a, we're just gonna go ahead and hit it with a flame spin then with Lumiere.
Okay, your little candle Pokemon sitting just inside that door there shoots off a reel of flames. It whips its head around, spinning the flames in a circular cyclone motion, capturing this other Pokemon. I believe... does it need to make a save, or is that a roll that you make?
Make a ranged attack roll.
Awesome.
So just a D20 plus Dex initiative, I believe, or Dex
Yep.
bonus.
Plus your proficiency.
Plus my proficiency. That's a no-go. That's gonna be like a 2.
A 2. With everybody clustered around this door, it hits more door frame than it does snake, and the Ekans manages to avoid it easily, and it just kind of peters out in place. Would you like to do anything else?
We're still in this room, right? So
Yeah.
basically trapped in here via the Ekans and the Ursaring that is grappling the...
Pretty much. They've kind of got you blocked in there. The Ursaring specifically is taking up a lot of that doorway.
Alright, I'll hold back. I'll stay here.
Okay. That gentleman who is being grappled currently by the Ursaring, he's wearing a black sort of jumpsuit. He's got a beret on and white boots. He's not all too pleased by being attacked by this hungry bear Pokemon, and he calls out to his Ekans, "Ekans, do something about this!" And the Ekans is going to attempt to wrap itself around the legs of this bear.
And did I mess up the confuse ray on the seconds like 6 times with something stupid too?
No, you did confuse it. It has just since knocked
Broke
itself out of confusion.
Okay.
I'm assuming this doesn't hit. That's going to be a 7.
No, that does not hit Mama Ursaring.
Gotcha. So the Ursaring stamps its feet around while the Ekans tries to get a hold of it, not managing to make a purchase. Blair.
So I still have the wire.
You do, yeah.
Does he appear to have additional Pokemon on him? Pokeballs?
He does.
Visual?
Yeah. Yeah, you can see that he's got at least one on his
At
belt.
least one additional.
Yeah.
Oh! How does the Ekans look?
The Ekans hasn't been touched yet.
Get the snaky boy.
You'll
Okay.
note your Ursaring is poisoned
I know.
at the moment from a nasty poison sting from
Mama
last time.
Camomile's got some hit points. Okay. I'm gonna... Okay, let's give this one last shot, and I'm gonna attempt to tie him up.
Okay.
Is it an advantage because he's being held or no?
No, he's not restrained.
Okay.
He's just held. So that's going to be an 18.
I'm rolling to tie him up.
So it's a contested.
Oh, okay. That's a 10. So
Okay. Yeah, this older man definitely has a little more muscle than you, and despite your quick and nimble ways, he flexes his way out of it.
Not quick and nimble.
Alrighty. Which guy is this? This guy. The guy at the far end, looking directly across this large open space at you, Todd. He seems to be carrying a bag at the moment. No idea what is currently in it. Sunglasses on, a little bit of a paunch, and a scruffy, unshaven sort of face. He looks across the way and goes, "Oi, hey, you're not supposed to be in here. This won't do."
Todd is going to try to intimidate this guy. So he's going to tell him to drop the bag and get the fuck out, or there's going to be trouble.
Okay, because we are in initiative, you actually will be going right after him. Just given the initiative, he is going to drop a Pokeball here in front of him, releasing this small crab-like Pokemon with these large pincers. And that's where he's going to end his turn, so now would be a great time for you to intimidate him.
Great, I'm going to intimidate him.
Great, so give me
And
an
these are things
intimidation
I said.
roll.
What is intimidation? That's charisma. charisma. Oh, fuck me. Oh, no. Well, I rolled a 19, so that's a modified 17.
Okay, Todd, not very charismatic, but he is large, and you are flanked by a number of other Pokemon.
That's right.
This guy shrinks back a little bit. He is surrounded by his own friends who are around the fort, but he hears the noise of what's going on up top. He looks down at you with your own small army of Pokemon, and he really sizes you up. And he hesitates for a moment, really considering perhaps what he's going to do next, instead of jumping straight to action. So that would
do I get
probably...
any other, like...
Sorry?
I was just going to say, yeah, what's the rest of my move economy like here?
Yeah, so we'll say that that was your action. So you can't command a Pokemon to do something, but you yourself could move. That's probably... Yeah, because I don't think you'd have anything that requires a bonus action. So basically, you could move yourself somewhere.
I'm just going to take, like, a few steps towards him, whatever, like, half of my movement distance is.
Sure, sure.
So I think that would be 15 feet, I guess. So I'm going to take a few steps and get, like, 15 feet closer to him.
Okay.
I don't know how to do that on the map.
Oh, yeah, you can just drag and drop your guy wherever you want him.
Each of these tiles is what?
5.
5 feet? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so it's just gonna, like, take a few steps forward and puff his chest out to
Gotcha.
really send home what's about to happen here if this guy decides to fuck around and find out.
Just so you know, each of these little piles of lumber here is largely shavings, splintered pieces, various little bits. You can move through them, but they would be considered difficult terrain if you choose to. The larger
Where
piles...
is this guy that I'm...
he's the guy who's way up top here. So he's the one who's most
with
furthest
the
north.
crabby?
He's the
Or is
one
it
with the
a king one?
crabby. Yeah, this map is pretty big, so you might have to zoom in a little bit to see where exactly you are.
I don't know if it's like Roll20 that sucks or just because it is weird about Safari, but man, this is very weird. Okay, he's got a little trap. Okay, he's way across, so I'm like shouting at him. Man, he might even notice I took those steps. It's so long, that's so far away. Okay. Well, that's where we're at.
Okay,
That's my move.
beauty. This next guy up top here looks down at you. He hears you shouting at his friend, and he takes a step forward towards the edge of this shipping crate. He looks down at his prize, and he looks down at you, and he looks up at the tussle that's happening on the other far end. He grabs his own Pokeball from his belt, and he is going to toss it down closer to you on the other side of this lumber pile. He just really hucks this Pokeball to the edge of his range, and out sprouts this little green and yellow dog. It's sort of corgi in size, but you can see
Aw.
electricity that runs along the length of its fur, and it looks at you and it yips. This guy kind of coughs a little bit and he goes,
Well, you look like you're gonna be trouble there, son. You came where you weren't supposed to.
Oh, looks like we got a tough guy here.
and this last gentleman, who is the closest to you, is going to start walking towards you. And he too is going to drop a Pokeball in front of him, releasing this small scorpion-like Pokemon. It's segmented with a number of legs, 2 tiny little pincers, and 1 stabby long tail behind it. It's small enough that you could probably hold it in one hand. That being said, it's clicking at the ground and looking at you with a bit of violent intent. This guy doesn't say anything. He just kind of huffs as he walks forward.
Right. So he's like a chest always so puffed guy. Got
Maggie.
Okay, well, we're still trapped in this room, so there's that. This might just be a, hold on, let me double check my skills. My skills? It's usually based off of... Alright, we're just gonna attempt to skirt through. Gonna attempt to get through here. So I'm gonna run in as my buddy Litwick is gonna attempt to do one more attack. He is going to use Nightshade.
Okay. Excellent.
On a hit, so let me ranged attack. Man, these ranged attacks gonna kill me. Because my boy's not dexterous. That's a 10.
10 does not hit. You note the lights in the room get a little bit dimmer, the shadows a little darker, and the shadows reach out towards this Pokemon, but it is lithe and it moves back from the doorway.
Wait, hold on. It's actually a 14.
A 14 does hit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I forgot that it was like you could choose between wisdom or int.
Yes. Yeah, on any of those that have a move power, choose
Yep.
which one works best for you.
Yup, so 14.
Yeah, 14 hits. Absolutely.
1d6 plus the user's level. So 1d6 plus 5. That is going to be 8 damage. And it's ghost type damage.
Awesome. So, yeah, the darkness wraps around this Pokemon.
Actually, hold on, I get another d6, I think? The damage dice rolled for this move changes to 2d4 at level 5. Oh, so instead of... Okay, hold on. 2d4 instead of 1d6.
All good. Take your time.
Alright, so 9. Alright.
9.
We're good. Now we're good.
Awesome. Yeah, so the darkness seeps out. This snake, which is generally lithe, manages to avoid a good bit of it, but stumbles into a big patch of the darkness. As it does so, you can see ripples along its sort of scaly skin, almost like a full body shiver, and it looks both frightened and a little taken off guard, having taken some damage from that.
Yeah, and I'm gonna try and rush through the door.
Sure.
While he attacking.
Yeah, you can move through the Ursaring without issue, because it's a friendly space. You will risk an attack of opportunity, though, from the snake, which would have been in proximity as you move through it.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So as you move through, the snake just attempts to bite at your ankle. This Ekans. That is going to be a 19 to hit you.
Oh, that'll definitely hit. I don't know where my AC is, but that's probably a definite hit.
AC
is
without
almost
armor
definitely
is 8.
probably around 8.
Yeah. Yeah, if my AC's 8. But, yeah.
You're going to also take 8 points of dark type damage.
Ow.
As it pulls
Okay.
away, your ankle dripping with a little bit of blood.
Stupid snake.
Okay, that guy watches you go by, still in the grasp of this bear. He doesn't feel confident that he can fight the bear off himself, so he looks down at his snake and he says, come on, Ekans. And Ekans is going to glare up at your Ursaring. Nope, that would be a bad move. It's going to attempt to wrap it again. But that's going to be a 7 again. The Ursaring dodges that attack easily. We're back to Blair's turn.
Okay. Chamomile, I think perhaps there's more going on here now. Let's focus on the snake. But we're gonna take it with us. Grapple the snake, please.
Okay. Do you intend to release your
Yep.
grapple on the other guy?
And because of researcher, I get to add my int modifier to her athletics check to grapple, just so you're aware.
Okay.
Oh, save it. I'm not using that roll, but...
So that's going to be a 10?
15.
15. Very good. The Ursaring drops this guy onto the ground, and he goes over and swipes up this long snake and holds it firm.
Okay. So question, because
Mhm.
I'm gonna run out with chamomile in this movement.
Okay.
How high is from one crate to the other crate?
10 feet.
10 feet?
Yeah.
Easy enough jump for an athletic bear?
Yeah, you could jump. You risk potentially taking some sort of damage.
Could I make an athletics roll to avoid it? Okay, that's all I'm asking. I'm gonna... Okay, so just to backtrack to like last time we played, Willow was still out.
Yes.
I think I recalled my snake when she came to the window, but I don't know.
Yeah, we'll say you did.
Okay, so can I grab Willow
Mm-hmm.
and jump on Mama Ursaring's back
Sure.
for the movement?
Yeah.
Okay, so with me, Willow, Mama Chamomile is going to drag this snake and jump over onto the second crate. We're taking the snake with us.
Just pulling it off,
Yeah.
eh? Okay.
The fight's on the bottom. Todd needs us, and I'm not leaving the snake by its trainer.
Right. So, let's
Maggie
do it
and her
like
Pokemon
this.
there.
Give me another contested check just to see if you can drag the snake.
13.
16.
Okay,
So the
okay.
snake is struggling a little too hard at this moment. You are on the Ursaring's back with your other Pokemon, but you guys aren't making any further movement towards the edge.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. All right, so this guy at the far edge, he looks over at his compadres and he calls over. He goes,
Oi, Frank, maybe we should think about getting out of here, this is a bit much, I didn't sign up for this.
Did he drop his bag last turn, by the way?
he's still holding his bag. He dropped his Pokeball
Oh,
to release his Pokemon.
son of a bitch.
Todd, it is now your turn.
Okay. Hoping you can refresh my memory about how like action economy works with Pokemon. So I get a move and like a bonus move. Does that mean I get like one move with a Pokemon and then like a movement with myself or something? I can't do like two Pokemon moves in one turn.
Correct. So you yourself as the trainer have a movement, an action, and a bonus action. However, to command your Pokemon to do anything, and they will await your command dutifully, you have to use your action to do so. So that's taking account of the scene, noting your Pokemon's abilities, and then telling them very specifically what to do. And that allows your Pokemon to be able to take their movement, action, and bonus action.
Right. Okay, I gotcha. Well, he's gonna forfeit his like movement.
Okay.
Instead, just for flavor, he's gonna like, do kind of a like taunting motion at these guys. Like,
Sure.
Try it and see what happens, guys. And then there is, what is it? My Oddish is going to use growth to increase the size of an ally Pokemon.
Sure. Which one?
It's a great question. Let me figure out what this move actually does. Grows larger, getting the ability to add a D4 to any attack roll or saving throw. Let us do. Oh, my Pokemon have all their health. Yeah, they do. Let's make my Pidgey grow.
Okay.
So he gets a D4 to any attack roll or saving throw. And the duration is what? 1 minute. So that's what? 6 rounds? 10 rounds?
10
or
rounds.
10 rounds.
Fuck yeah.
So quite a long time.
Okay. And then I don't think I have anything I can actually use in a bonus action. If I'm understanding my characters right. My character,
Possibly,
my Pokemon,
yeah.
right?
I think you are correct.
Okay. Then that's probably it.
Wicked. So yeah, your Oddish sets down some roots into the ground, and you notice those same roots touch the toes of your little Pidgey as nutrients and such flow through it. Your Pidgey grows to almost double its size, swelling, Its thick talons now the size of your hand each. Its wings quite large for what it was before. It looks strong, powerful.
It does like a bicep flexing motion with its wings to like show off how big it's got. Yeah.
Okay. This guy up top watching you do that goes, I see. You know, I can't help but wonder what brought you all the way here just to get your ass kicked.
Oh! So they chose fuck around and find out, did they?
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least one of them. His small dog Pokemon starts running forward to reinforce the action and back up his other pal there. This last guy down at the bottom continues to walk forward, just quiet. He's got a bandana over his face, so you can't even tell if he's smiling or not. And the little scorpion Pokemon scurries forward at his feet.
Sick.
Maggie.
All right, well, I'm out. This. What's the state of the Earth ring currently with everything?
I'm holding the
Where's-
snake.
You're holding the snake.
I'm holding the snake.
Well, I'm not gonna. If I attack snake, I'm not gonna hurt the Earth ring, right?
No.
Okay, let's go ahead and nightshade this thing one more time.
All right.
That is a 12.
12 does not hit.
Hold on. I gotta. So it says skill checks because of my element sort of thing for my trainer.
Yeah.
Would that add on to my attacks too? Because if that's the case, it's 13. But
No, skill checks is specifically to do
yeah,
with
that's
your
what
skills.
I thought.
Yeah.
Also, what's the stab?
Stab is for damage. My bad. So stab stands for same type attack bonus. So anytime that you use an attack that does damage, and it hits, you add whatever your stab bonus is to the damage.
So an example would be like Chamomile has stab +1. Fury attacks is a normal type. She's a normal type. So she does 1d6 plus her strength and stab.
Okay, I would have done more last round, but I don't quite understand what my Litwick's thing is. But I have a +1 stab, I think. I don't know. It's weird. Anyway, continue on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just
So-
getting around. Gonna do some more general, just kind of working on getting to the center.
Just taking a quick look here. Your wisdom, intelligence, 5 plus. I'm just clarifying what Nightshade does, because I think you're right. I think it might have done more damage. Ghost damage is 1d plus the level, so 5, 6, plus a 1, plus a 1. So that would have been... It would have been 2d4 plus 7 is what it should have been.
Oh, okay. So then I guess add 2 more
Yeah, I think you're right.
damage or something.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a good
cool.
move. Okay. Was there anything else?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just moving. I'm running in closer.
Okay.
And Litwick's kind of coming along with me as well, rushing with me. While
Awesome.
still making range attacks.
So you very much can see the full extent of what is happening in this compound now. The lumber that has been stacked and left, the small fires that have been lit by this very furious Pokemon that is thrashing angrily. The Pokemon that are now advancing on your friend Todd, who has broken through just south of you there.
All right.
The angry trainer next to you, the poacher, he turns his head towards you. Now free of this bear Pokemon, he's going to try to step away from it. Melissa, if you would like, Ursaring can take an attack.
No,
of opportunity.
not on the human.
Okay. He runs down the way a little bit, turns his head back towards his Ekans, and says, Ekans! Stop them! And the Ekans is going to attempt to wrap again. And gets another 7. This
No.
very disappointing.
No.
It is Blair's turn.
Okay.
You're currently on the back of this Ursaring.
Yep. Would I make a contested roll again if I wanted to throw the snake?
Yes,
Okay.
because it would definitely try to stop you.
Let's try and throw the snake.
Okay. You rolled a natural 1.
25.
Fantastic.
25.
Yeah. Can I throw it really far?
Yeah, give me what is its what's its athletics bonus?
A +6.
+6. Okay. Give me a d6 and we'll say you throw it 10 feet for every number.
50 feet.
So you throw it 50 feet.
Yes.
Amazing.
Bye, snake. Should have thrown it 50 feet. And let me decide which direction. Just want it far away from its trainer right now.
That's too far.
I know. I'm aware. Throw it down here.
Okay. So your Ursaring basically picks it up with both hands, grunting and growling, "Ooh, ooh," and whips it down over the side of these crates. It lands in this pile of shredded wood and shrapnel, and it wriggles free. It is going to take some damage from you chucking it. Surprisingly, a lot less than I thought it would, probably due to just the nature of what it landed on. But it is down there now, and it hisses and writhes.
Okay, now can Mama Chamomile move with me on her back?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt. I have to step away for a second because there's a woodpecker trying to get into my office.
Oh, okay.
What?
We've experienced this too. I understand.
We had a woodpecker in our fireplace last year we had to save.
That's awesome.
It does happen.
So could I make it to ground level from here?
So you're going to be moving 10 feet out, 10 feet down, unless you're just falling.
No, she's gonna jump.
Okay.
Like she's gonna jump from one and then jump to the other.
Okay. Then yes.
Okay, so I can make it to like here.
You'd basically be making it right there, I think, because 35 would be here, 30
So,
will be here.
boom.
Yeah. So give me 2 athletics rolls to see how she manages.
So the first is a 22.
Okay.
And the second is a 10.
Okay. So she very successfully, and is not a small creature either, jumps down from either of these. The shock of her jumping period, though she is prepared for it, is going to do a little bit of damage, but half whatever damage this is.
Okay.
So half of 6.
Okay.
So you take 3 points of damage.
Okay.
The bear does.
And Blair's down there too. I can't pick up Blair. Can you put Blair on the map?
Yep.
I can't pick her up.
There you go. This Ursaring.
And then I'm gonna assess the scene of the people heading towards Todd. Can I see any of them? Because I was up above at first.
You could have seen them when you were up above. This large container in front of you is blocking your view largely. You might be able to see the
That's
electric
okay.
over
I
here.
know they're there. And then I'm going to yell out and say, well, someone better stop me before I free the Moltres!
You know, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Just try to draw some attention away from Todd because they're all currently heading there.
Oh, I thought I was providing the distraction.
How quickly plans fall apart in D&D.
Oh boy.
Well, now we both are the distraction, freeing Maggie to do it.
Right. Two
Fantastic.
distractions is better than one.
Exactly.
Okay. The Sunshaven guy up top here with his little crab Pokemon. Both of them looking very uncertain at this situation. They haven't moved since you sort of told them off, Todd. He steps forward towards the edge and he calls down again. He says, "Oh, boss, I don't look. I put a lot into this. I can't lose our investment. What? You gotta tell me. What are we doing here? Come on, man." And he just kind of stammers there. This is now Todd's turn.
Okay. Todd's Pidgey, now that it's really buff, is going to use a gust attack on, I don't know, whatever this little thing. I don't
Yeah.
know it. This nearest Pokemon, whatever it is, it looks a bit like a cancerous caterpillar or something.
Yeah, this
Cancer
little
powder.
scorpion-looking Pokemon. Does it have enough range? What's its range?
It has 40 feet of range. Is that
Oh,
close
perfect.
enough? I don't quite know how to. This is just to spin my Pidgey in a circle.
I think
gonna
your
point
Pidgey
that
would have to move forward 5 feet, and then it can hit it.
Poison is proficiency in damage, right?
Okay, well, he's moved forward 5 feet, I guess, or diagonally.
Okay.
And yeah, I don't know. Whatever this Pokemon is, just like
And I
one
had
square
two
east
hits.
of this backpack guy. He's
Oh.
going to use Gust.
Yeah.
And does that D4, is that on the attack roll or is that on the damage roll? If I'm being bigger. It's
That's on the
roll.
attack roll, so to hit.
Okay, so it's to hit. All right, so to hit then, I'm rolling 17 plus 3, 20. It's a modified 20.
Oh, that definitely hits.
Okay. So it's doing 1d6 plus move flying damage. Or no, it's 1d12 plus. Okay. All right, I got this. Oh, do you know what? I misunderstood this. That was not a modified 20. It was a modified 19. I assume that still hits.
Yes, that still hits.
Okay. All right. Just trying to keep myself honest here.
All good, all good.
That is 10 damage.
Oh, wow. So, your Pidgey flying forward, it releases this wicked gust of wind, just flapping its wings. You can feel it beside you there. Its new size and swollenness whips up these very powerful winds that fly towards this other Pokemon. The other Pokemon is helpless in its torrential sort of bit of damage here. It actually takes additional damage. It is susceptible to the attack. So it actually takes a total of 20 points of damage.
Take that.
This Pokemon is now looking very hurt as it's thrust and thrown against the ground. It finally pulls itself up, but it is dusty. You can see little bits in its carapace that are almost punctured or cracking, and it kind of hisses a little bit with its insectoid face.
Todd is going to use his bonus action to talk some shit.
Yep.
I assume there's no mechanic for this and it does nothing. But for flavor, he's going to tell the Pokemon, you don't have to follow a master that puts you in this kind of danger.
Ooh. Okay.
That's it.
This larger guy up top on the, leaning against the railing of this container, he looks back at his other guy who is yelling at him way over in the back. And he looks a little peeved. He says,
Steve, if you don't get your ass down here and do something about this, we're all gonna lose our investment. Now, are you gonna be intimidated by a couple kids and their daddy?
Oh, I am not their dad.
Electrac, teach them some manners.
and this small dog is gonna come running in.
You know, him being our dad makes this a lot less weird.
No. That's okay. I know it does.
This is by far extremely weird.
It's like in the
It is
other
extremely
game, I've
weird,
just
but-
caved and I call Jackson my grandpa because it's a 16-year-old traveling with a really old man.
Yeah, no, that's super awkward.
This is actually the youngest character that I've played in many years.
Oh no.
As the electric, this small electric dog stops in front of you, it digs in its paws and its fur rustles up and it sends forward this wave of electricity towards your Pidgey. I need your Pidgey to give me a Constitution save.
Oh, that's not good. So that's what, a D20 plus and or minus its Constitution bonus?
Yeah.
That's a 16.
16. Yeah, your Pidgey in its new swole state. You did roll your D4 as well because it is under the effects of growth, right?
Well, I'm going to add the D4, and now that's 18. So,
There you go. Yeah.
suck it, Electro Dog.
Your Pidgey in its advanced swole state shrugs off this electricity. It dissipates around it as it whips up a little bit of a whirlwind, just keeping in air there.
And it kisses its own bicep.
This guy down here is looking a little concerned for his Pokemon. He actually is going to call it back. And he tosses another Pokeball towards you. Landing in front of yours is this much larger deer-looking Pokemon. This Pokemon stands probably about as tall as you. It's got these great big antlers that give it this fierce, mean look sort of impression. Its antlers looking like large eyes that are scowling at you. It stomps at the ground and it digs up a little bit of the gravel below its sharp hoofs.
Okay.
Maggie.
I am going as far as I can, so that's usually like 30 feet, so we're going down here.
Gotcha. So if you are moving off the side of these containers, just so you know,
Okay.
Each
Yeah.
container is about 10 feet tall. So you're either going to climb down or you can jump down or...
Okay, so it's gonna take me a little bit longer to get down there, is what you're saying?
well, it depends. You can just jump down there if you
Okay.
want, but you risk hurting yourself by doing
No,
so.
I'll climb down.
Okay.
And then I'll just use my dash action. So I'll put Litwick on my head.
Yep.
Lumiere gets put on my head. I climb down, and so I use my dash action to just get me down here with
Wicked.
while climbing.
Yep. No, that's great. Can you give me an athletics roll just to see how well this goes? It's not a far climb. It's not a difficult climb. I just want to see how well you do.
20.
20, yeah,
20.
without much issue. You slide down the side of these containers.
In case a nat one happens and you fall on your booty.
Yeah.
That's really what he's saying.
Exactly. Same thing to my players.
Excellent. All right, this guy up top here is suddenly very confused as to what he himself is going to do. He looks down at his snake Pokemon, which has been tossed over the edge and down on the bottom. It's starting to look a little bit hurt. He looks down at the little girl with her bear, who is sort of yelling her own threats at these grown men. And he's going to continue to run north as he yells for his Ekans to hold the bear down. And the Ekans is going to move into melee with the Ursaring and go in for another wrap. It's a bit better. That is a 16.
Yeah, barely hits. Yeah.
It barely hits?
Barely hits Mama Ursaring.
Okay. So the snake finally manages to get itself around the Ursaring, wrapping itself around its middle section. You are now considered grapple. You are going to take some damage right now. So that's going to be 4 points of normal type damage on your Ursaring. And that's the end of his turn. Blair, it's now your turn.
Okay. Going to move. Still carrying Willow.
Sure.
And gonna recall Mama.
Okay. Running aside this snake, you are going to take an attack of
Yep.
opportunity. As it attempts to bite you. That is going to be a dirty 20.
Yep.
You are going to take 12 points of dark type damage. Yeah. Max
mean.
damage on that one.
And Willow will not be my active.
Okay. So you swap your Pokemon.
Yep.
Beauty.
Who is in my arms?
Okay. This guy at the back here, who has been identified as Steve, looks down at each of you. He glances quickly at the larger guy at the far end, but then his eyes sort of settle on this little girl, and he starts moving along the edge of these crates here. He calls back his Pokemon, and he tosses another Pokemon. Which is refusing to appear.
Wait for it. Woo! Lots of birds! a horde of Pidgeotto?
What?
There's 4 Pidgeotto.
I don't see them at all
There's
on mine.
1,
Oh, now they
2,
suddenly showed up.
3,
Oh, that
4.
Pidgeotto.
You think you're going crazy as you see a whole bunch of them.
Pidgeotto at me.
A larger bird. It looks very similar to the one that Todd had in his company, but more advanced, a little bit more mature looking. It's got a longer feather crest on the top of its head, and it comes swooping down. The man at the backside looks over at you. He goes, "Oi, yeah, okay. Look, you there, little girl. Keep away from that dangerous Pokemon. We can talk about this, right? Hey, no, back up, eh?" Todd.
Todd's Geodude is going to cause some major damage to, hopefully cause some major damage to this reindeer dick over here.
Okay.
Rain Dick, I assume is what this Pokemon is called, Rain Dick. Just going to use Tackle, which is a Strength Dex. I get +1 to skill checks made with Rockamon. And there's also a 1 here. Is this that 1, or do I get +2 to this?
No, so you get a +1 made to skill checks with Pokemon,
And
not
it's
attacks.
Not a skill check.
Yeah.
Okay, now there is a 1 here. Does that mean I get a +1 to this? What does that do?
No, I think I already calculated his damage there. I think that +1 is from your strength. Could be wrong.
But that's a +1 to rolling my d20. Is that right? I just don't know what this means.
Yeah, let me.
I don't, because this column isn't labeled on my character sheet. It's just next to move power.
Let me take a quick boo here. See what I did to you.
Oh, the
What
one
did you
next to
do to
move
me?
power is how many dice you roll.
Yes. Yeah. So,
it
you're
would be
rolling
like
1d10.
2d8 or 1d4.
Oh, for damage. Okay,
Yeah.
so either way, okay. So it's a plus to strength, and is that the Geodude strength or is that Todd's strength?
It is the Geodude strength.
Fuck yeah. Oh, that's a modified 12
12
to hit.
to hit. No. This Pokemon puts its horns down in the ground and kind of shoves your Geodude back, taking no damage from the assault.
All right. Well, that's that, I guess. That's all I can
Okay.
do.
All right. Your trainer could move if you so desired.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's any reason for him to.
Sure.
You know, he's gonna stay in the thick of it with his Pokemon. He's not gonna leave them on their own to fight.
Okay.
He's a good trainer.
He absolutely is. All right. This larger, heavy-set, leader-looking gentleman continues to lean over the railing here, looking over the battle that is about to ensue. This large bird Pokemon is growing increasingly more frenzied now that there's actual fighting occurring in this area. It is actively trying to remove itself from this situation. More and more fire seems to be belching forth from its beak as it continues to grow more agitated. And the man calls out to it and says,
Hey, you, settle down there, girl. Don't you worry. I won't let no harm come to you. Electrike, keep 'em busy.
and the Electrike is going to run forward right underneath your Pidgey there and is once again going to try to use Thunder Wave. Can I get another Constitution save from your Pidgey?
Oh man. Okay.
No, buddy.
But he gets to, he adds the D4 to this, right? He still has
Yep.
that because he's still swole. Okay.
Yep.
Oh man.
He's on his side. He go.
Oh. Okay, that's not good. That's an 8.
8 is not good enough. This time the electricity manages to wrap around and you see it settle into its muscles, giving it spasms.
No.
Aw.
So your Pokemon is considered paralyzed, and just to give you an idea what that status condition will do, a paralyzed creature has disadvantage on any strength or dex saving throws, and attacks against it have advantage. After selecting a move to activate it and spending your PP, roll a d4. On a result of a 1, it is incapacitated and restrained. So essentially, your Pidgey, if you attempt to tell it to do a move, you use the PP for it as if it used the move, but roll a d4, and if it gets a 1, it is grappled and restrained. Basically, it's overcome with the paralysis.
That sounds complicated, so I assume you're gonna let me know about that.
Yeah,
next time I try to use my
absolutely.
Pidgey? Okay.
All good, all good.
Thank you. Paralyzed. I'm gonna write paralyzed. down.
Paralyzed is
Okay.
my favorite.
That sucks.
What
Okay.
are these things made out of? The posts?
The posts seem to be driven in with some sort of. It looks like a rebar, perhaps.
But what are they made out of? The post.
Yeah.
Is what she's asking.
Yeah, the posts themselves are like this heavy rebar that has been pounded into the ground.
What is the chain made out of?
The chain seems to be some cable. You're uncertain the make. It is glowing red, closer to the creature itself, but it seems to be largely unaffected by the heat. It is almost designed for this sort of purpose.
And how is it attached to the Moltres? Like wrapped around?
Yeah,
locked
it is.
on?
It is entirely wrapped around the Moltres. So it's almost like bundled to keep it from being able to fly.
Yeah, so it's like wrapped and wrapped and wrapped and then pulled.
Yeah.
So releasing a peg would release the tension.
Some of the tension.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Okay, so Frank down here is going to get a better viewpoint of all of this, stepping back. He points over to his Pokemon, and he just kind of sighs and says, "Oh, Stantler, take care of it."
So not worth my time.
The Pokemon turns towards your rocky Geodude, Todd, and is going to attempt to stomp on it.
Oh no.
Oh, I'm so sad.
That is going to be a dirty 19.
Oh, okay. Where's my
Oh,
AC?
gosh.
Oh, that hits so hard.
He could go splat.
This could be better.
So that is going
Alright,
to
how
be
bad is it?
6 points. Sorry, 10 points of normal type damage.
Yikes. So, is that just 10 points of damage, or?
So it's actually going to be 5 points of damage. Your rock type Pokemon resists normal type damage.
Fuck yeah, it does.
Yeah, your Geodude basically throws up its arms in front of its face, and the sharp hooves meet hard stone, and it does do some damage. Your Pokemon is visibly a little bit shaken, but it shakes off the majority of what it would have been.
Fuck yeah. Okay, I mean that sucks, but that could suck a lot harder than that.
Maggie, it's your turn.
Okay. I'm gonna continue holding my boy,
'Kay.
and I'm gonna go. Hold on. How far is the drop? Another 10 feet?
So if
Yes,
you're just
how's this-
jumping down to like a pile of the wood here, we'll say it's like
Yeah.
5 feet. So you could probably
okay,
just
so-
jump down there without any issue.
Cool. I'm gonna go all the way over here then.
Sure.
Pew, pew.
Awesome.
And the snake. How's the snake doing? What's the?
What's the state of the
guess-
snake?
Yeah, what's the state of the snake and his trainer? I guess.
So he's been
told to
hurt a
do
little
anything?
bit. The trainer looks like he's not nearly as excitable as you guys. Like he's definitely running towards the stairs to try and get a better vantage of this situation. The snake
Okay.
itself has taken a bit of damage, but it looks like it's still got plenty of fight in it.
Well, we're gonna just get a hit off on that really quick, just to prevent future problems. And I am going to, yeah, we're gonna just, gonna do Nightshade on this again, because this is my only actually really good damage move. So we're just
Okay.
gonna-
Let's do it.
Just gonna do that. So it'd be Hold on. Keeps like going away from me. 19.
19 definitely hits.
Alright, so that's 2d4 plus 7. So that is 13 damage.
Oh man. You note, even in this sunny day, the shadows, for some strange reason, seem to reach out and grow longer and sharper, and a few of them strike out at this Pokemon. It doesn't seem to hit it physically, but you notice the Ekans move as if it's been hit or stung, and it looks visibly more hurt, or at least more bothered than it was before. It is looking fairly weak at the moment.
Alright, and then I'm gonna get a little Litwick to like come around here. Let me double check his movement. I don't know what his movement is. He gets 15, so 10, 15, and he's just gonna peer around here.
Okay, so he just sort of hops and hovers over beside on the other edge of those stacks of wood, eh?
Yeah, he just wants. I'm trying to get him to see if these guys need some help.
Okay,
But yeah, that's my turn.
awesome. So this other grunt up here is going to continue his run. Calling back at his Pokemon.
I'm gonna run to the bathroom really quick. Hold on.
Yep, he should be good. It is going to... Where did you end up putting Willow?
I'm carrying Willow.
Gotcha. You are its closest target. It couldn't make it to Maggie if it tried, so it's going to run straight towards you and lash out at your Pokemon. And it's just going to go in for a straight bite.
Okay.
It's going to be a 17 to hit.
Hits.
So that snake is going to do 7 points of dark type damage as it bites at the Pokemon in your grasp. It is now your turn, Blair.
Okay. Willow, do a couple quick attacks. And he is gonna jump out of my arms. And quick attack.
Okay.
$17.
17 hits.
Don't play these guys very often, so I'm like, new Pokemon, 3 days. 3 points for the first attack.
Okay. Definitely shakes it as it jumps down. This much smaller Pokemon strikes the snake, and the two of them tussle before the Eevee gets back to its feet.
And then... Actually, I'll use Covert for the second one.
Covet?
Yeah, that one. Natural 20.
Natural 20 definitely
Nice.
hits.
Yep. So that's going to be 4d8. $24 points of normal type damage for the critical.
Your Eevee moves in. Now, this is a move that largely has the intention of stealing what the other Pokemon might have on it. This other Pokemon doesn't have it, so it just carries through with its ruse, rubbing against it, smacks it a couple times with its tail, and body checks it sideways. The other Pokemon falls to the ground and writhes for a few seconds before falling limp.
And then I'm going to pick up Willow.
Okay.
And I'm going to move.
Okay.
Away from the snack that is no longer there.
Yeah, the Ekans is currently unconscious. It doesn't look very good.
No snack.
And it can't recall to its Pokeball?
It's too far away.
Shit, I feel bad.
Well, that trainer better hurry.
All right. This guy back here who just called out his Pidgeotto looks down at you and he goes, "Oi, that's not very nice. What you did to me friends there, Pokemon. I don't like you very much. Pidgeotto, put a stop to them." And the Pidgeotto, taking a lesson from its younger counterpart across the field, is going to whip up a gust towards your Pokemon.
One sec.
Give me 1 sec.
I'm using Baby Doll Eyes.
Oh, okay.
Willow! Baby Doll Eyes!
So that's going to be disadvantage?
Yes.
Ha. Okay, so that would have been a good roll. However, it's a natural 1.
Hey.
As this Pokemon flaps its wings furiously and moves to whip up a gust of wind,
Willow just looks around me and's like, ding, ding, ding.
these weepy, wet baby doll eyes blink, and the Pokemon is taken off guard, and the wind around it dissipates. Todd, it's your turn.
Todd's Ghastly is going to try to put this reindeer dick
Nice, I like it.
with hypnosis.
Okay.
So
Does he need to make a save? I believe so.
oh man, that's a great question.
I think the standard does.
You attempt to put the target to sleep. The target must make a wisdom save against your move DC falling asleep on a failure. So my move DC is what?
So it's going to be 8 plus your proficiency plus whatever the move power is. So it should be 8 plus 3 for your proficiency plus whatever wisdom or intelligence, I think.
Well, my wisdom is +3. So is that 8 plus 6?
Yes.
How does that work? Okay. So 14 is the save.
Okay. The Stantler turns around and gets a glimpse at it as your Ghastly's eyes glow a bright blue for a second and then dissipate. It giggles a little bit. And the Stantler suddenly looks very, very sleepy as it starts lowering itself down to its knees and falls asleep right there.
Fuck yeah. Okay, very cool. I will be right back.
Okay. All right. The big boss man looks down at his Pokemon and he goes,
Pathetic. What do I even hire you guys for? Ugh. Electrike. Now that you got that little bird there stunned, hit it.
and the Electrike is going to go in for a full body tackle against the Pidgey.
Poor Pidgey.
That's going to be a 15, which I believe is going to hit that Pidgey. He's not here, so I'm just going to open up his Pokemon here. And that is going to be 6 points of damage on the Pidgey. And then the Electrike follows up with a quick attack as a bonus action. But that one is definitely going to miss. Okay. Frank is going to call out to his Pokemon to wake up. Stantler! Stantler! Get up! And the Stantler is going to attempt to awaken. Let's see here. It needs to be 20. Does not wake up this turn.
Hey.
Still asleep. Bringing us back to top of the round, Maggie.
Might have forgotten Melissa's character's name.
Blair.
Claire. All right.
Blair.
Blair. Got it. Thank you. You just kind of yell out, "You got a plan for this?" And just kind of like point for this. You're the brains.
Sort of.
I gotta help him. I gotta help him. And I want to use Flame Wheel on Electrike.
Okay.
So we're going to roll a d20. Probably fail. That's a 12. Maybe not fail. Maybe.
Oh, a 12. That's not bad. That's not bad. 12 just hits.
Oh, thank God. All right. So then actually, I think it maybe would have been. I don't know what this button is. Anyway, so I'm gonna roll a d6. So that's, I think, 3 damage. As long as you maintain and then it does this for 3 turns.
Wicked. Yeah. Awesome. So you basically whip up a flame, right?
Wait, hold on, messed up again. You need to use a d10. It's a 6.
Oh, 6 points of damage. Even better.
Yeah. Yeah, I keep forgetting that at higher levels thing.
So your Pokemon basically whips up this small flame cyclone that strikes this Pokemon. The Electrike is currently caught in it. And I believe you probably also are going to do additional damage to it every turn.
Yeah.
Okay. Wunderbar.
Move.
And then I just move over towards this fence post and giving it a good look. See.
Okay.
That's about it.
All right. The Grunt comes running around, dashing down the stairs and back towards his Pokemon. He's calling out furiously, "Ekans! Ekans!" While he does so, he's going to toss another Pokeball. down
Get
here.
closer, my dude. Oh, it's a Raticate.
You see this large rat-like Pokemon with these quivering whiskers, big, meaty, hairless tail, and these massive, massive teeth that are far too large for it to close its mouth, and it just kind of screams in your guys' general directions as it rubs its teeth together. Blair.
I'm gonna put Willow down.
Oh, that's a shame.
And then I'm gonna not move Willow. I'm gonna take myself to the other side of this pole. And it is pounded into the ground with rebar.
Yeah.
Is it kind of like tent peg?
Very much so. So basically what you see is this loop of rebar that is pounded into the ground and the tether is tied to it quite aggressively. So there is a loop of metal that is wrapped over top of the tether.
Okay. And next to me-ish, is there a stronger piece of wood than the foosball stick that I have that is not on fire?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I am going to grab it and look around at Willow and say, Willow, I'm really sorry. We need to try and free the Moltres, and I need to try this for a little bit before I bring out chamomile, and then I'm gonna shove it underneath and try and pry it up myself.
Okay, yeah.
Because chamomile's poisoned, and I don't want to bring her out until I have to.
Give me an athletics check to try and haul that out. Or, sorry, give me just a straight strength check is what this
Okay.
one's going to be.
It's a 14.
14.
I'm a
Pretty good try. You're not really getting any hold on it, though. Like, you're really digging your piece of wood down there, your 2x4 or whatever this was that you got in there, but you're not quite getting purchase, and it's really, really tugged in there.
Okay.
You get the sense that it would have to be able to hold down such a powerful Pokemon. As you do so, the giant bird's head whips over towards you and looks at you, just with fury in its eyes. You see fire start to drip down its beak.
Moltres, I'm trying to help. Please stay calm. Don't pull. It'll only make it harder.
Steve calls out to his big bird again, and it's going to attempt to gust your Willow.
Baby doll eyes.
Baby doll eyes.
Baby doll eyes' reaction.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It would have been a natural 20. It is, however, instead a 14.
14 still hits. But
14
it's
still
better
hits.
than a critical. It barely hits too.
Yeah. So it's not going to fall for the same trick twice, and this time with determination, it lets loose a gust of wind. Your Pokemon is going to take 8 points of flying type damage as it is struck by the wind and thrown against the side of the peg.
How much, sorry?
8 points of flying type damage. The Pidgeotto is also going to fly a few feet into the air.
Okay.
So it is now 10 feet above the ground.
Yeah.
That's a thing we can do?
Yeah, so your flying
Flying
Pokemon can fly. So if you look at your Pokemon and they have a fly speed or a hover, they could move up or down or however they want.
That is good to know. Okay.
Yeah, so I believe your Ghastly can hover wherever it wants, and your Pidgey can definitely fly.
Fuck yeah.
Poor Pidge.
Okay, Todd.
Okay.
Note your
boy,
Pidgey
alright,
did
so-
take a little bit of damage while you stepped away, just so you know. It was struck by the Electrike. So
Rude.
I
That's
took it off your sheet.
That is so rude. Okay. Okay. Well, okay, so Rain Dick is asleep here. It's
Yep.
just Electro Dog that's left.
Correct.
Okay. In that case, I am going to have my Oddish use Absorb on the Electro Dog here.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm going to attempt to absorb some health.
Yes, I think your Oddish needs
Which I guess
to
is
move
melee,
forward.
so he needs to move forward.
Yeah.
Is this diagonal, or does he have to be next door?
That's fine.
Diagonal is okay?
Yeah.
All right. So he's going to use Absorb, which is Strength Dex. So that's +1. Oh, fuck me. That's a 4.
4 does not hit. This little
4 does not
Pokemon
hit.
is pretty lithe, and it jumps around as your Oddish tries to wrap its leaves around it.
Can I use my move action to get Pidgey to fly up in the air?
So you can only command one Pokemon per turn.
Right,
So
okay.
in
Missed
this
that chance.
instance, you turn to your Oddish and you told it specifically what to do.
Right, gotcha. Okay. Well, I guess that's that. Damn.
Okay. Yeah, the big boss looks down at you. And he looks back at the little girl trying to pry out one of the pegs. And he becomes very furious as he yells,
Hey, you! Stop that! You don't know what you're doing!
but
you
he
don't
is-
know what you're doing.
He is going to command his Pokemon to attack your Pidgey again.
Fuck. Okay. Which one is that? That's this reindeer?
His Pokemon is the little electric dog.
It's the Electro Dog.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's going to tackle your Pidgey, and that is going to be a really good roll. That's a 21
Oh, fuck me.
to
Okay.
hit. Your Pidgey is going to take, I can find the right dice, 10 points of normal type damage, as this dog just lays its shoulder into it.
Wow.
And
Holy
then
shit.
as the Electrike lands, it pivots on its heels and it goes back for a very quick jab at it for a quick attack using its bonus action.
Oh my God.
That is going to miss, though, with a 7.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. This other guy continues to rotate around looking at his large deer Pokemon now sleeping, and he calls out,
Wake up, Stantler! Get up! Wake up!
the Stantler is going to attempt to wake up, and it is still asleep. Maggie.
Okie dokie. Stantler's still asleep, yeah? Still not an issue?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Before we get to that, there's an additional initiative I need to add to this. As you are standing there, and as Blair is standing over there, the Moltres turns its head, reefing hard against the tethers, pulling them to the edge of snapping, but they hold tight against it. But what doesn't hold tight is the band that is holding against its beak. And as its beak comes free, it lets loose a torrent of flames, which is going to shoot towards Willow.
Okay.
Oh, poor baby.
Moltres uses Flamethrower.
Baby doll eyes.
I need Willow to give me a dex save,
Oh, it's a save? Okay.
as it shoots a solid line towards your Pokemon.
It's like dragon breath. Dragon breath.
The 8.
Gotta find enough dice. Willow didn't even see it coming, and by the time that the fire was on top of him, it was already overtaken her.
Him.
Him.
I know I'd make the same mistake.
It's okay. That's not too much. That's going to be 18 points of fire type damage as the fire consumes it.
What does a raspberry do?
A raspberry?
Yep.
It's just
What?
kind of like ticklish. Someone goes. and,
Yeah.
Let me double check.
I didn't realize it had a held item, so I'm sorry, but I might be using it now, even though I know it's supposed to trigger.
All good. should have had this up already.
Oh.
Berries, 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 berries. There they are. Raspberry has no specific effect. No, that's not right. Sorry, this is just not in alphabetical order. I was like, there
That's
isn't
like,
a
that makes no
raspberry.
sense. It's just a tasty snack. Willow carries a snack.
So this
What's
has
wrong with
more
the
to
snack?
do with you catching Pokemon. So when held by an active Pokemon, trainer gains +1 to catching
okay.
attempts.
Never mind.
So it is not going to do anything in this specific circumstance.
Okay.
Perfect. Okay, now Maggie, it's your turn.
Okay, you just. What's the, if I recall, is that an action? Or...
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be your action to call your Pokemon back and throw out a new one, essentially.
And then I shall continue to help, and use, actually, you know, I don't think I get this far. To throw out a new Pokemon. Action?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna throw out my little buddy, Munchkin. Go, Munchkin, go!
Nice.
Got my Cubone out.
Wicked. Your little Cubone appears at your feet.
He's helping. He's gonna help. And, yeah. That's it, I think. Lumiere's gonna tell, oh, actually, no, that was my action, so never mind, he can't even move, so, yeah, that's it.
Okay. The original Grunt is going to come running down towards his Pokemon. Now within range, he withcalls the limp body of his Ekans. But he's looking at this Moltres with its beak now freed, and he goes, "Oh, you stupid girl! Look at what you've done!" And even his Raticate is sweating a little bit. The fire coming off this Pokemon is ferocious and fearsome. The Raticate is going to turn towards your... Yeah, it's going to turn towards your Eevee and use a scary face. I need your Pokemon to give me a Wisdom save.
12.
Fails. So your Eevee is now paralyzed.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay. As it is engulfed in flames, it is now singed at its ear tips. Its gooey, gummy, berry stickied fur is more singed and cooked than it was before. It actually smells kind of sweet, like a pie that's been in the oven. But it looks over at this Raticate and it stares into its eyes and it's suddenly strucken with fear. It is considered paralyzed. Blair, it's your turn.
Okay. What do I roll for paralyzation again?
So when you intend to use a move, you use the PP,
But if
and
it's
then you
not a
roll a 1d4. If it's not a move, you're fine.
Okay. Do I at least have the wood wedged?
Yeah.
Okay. Willow, come and help me. Just take a big jump. He's going to jump on the wood, and I'm going to pull down.
Okay, so give me another strength check with advantage this time.
Okay. Do I lead it, or can Willow lead it?
Either of you.
Okay.
Is Willow stronger than you?
Yeah. just barely. 17.
Much better. You pull up and you get about half of this stake out of the ground. You can tell now that as the Pokemon is pulling on it, it is not freed, but it is certainly coming a bit loose. You can see the tether actually wiggling a little bit in place. So almost out, but not entirely.
Okay. It would probably be an action to attempt to calm the Moltres at all.
Yes. Yeah, and this Moltres is furious. It doesn't understand what's happening to it. It doesn't understand who you are or who's the enemy and who's not at this moment. Everybody is a target. And you can tell that it intends to continue to blow fire as the fire continues to drip down its beak. This guy behind you...
Hang on. It's still my turn. Can I grab Willow?
Sure.
And duck behind the wood?
Do you have enough action? Or do you have enough movement?
I haven't moved.
Okay.
And Willow jumped.
Okay.
So he'd be here, and then it's literally just me pulling Willow and I behind the wood.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you guys duck behind that pile of wood.
Because I don't want Willow to get hit by the fire, and I don't either.
Okay. No, that's good. You guys duck and you hide behind there. This guy running around the backside here, Steve, he moves a little bit further, trying to put himself a little bit further away from this angry bird. He looks down at his own and he goes, "Oi, oh, Pidgeotto, you better steer clear of that one there. You'll come back a fried Pidgey." And the Pidgeotto is going to take a wide berth. And is going to move back this way, but is going to still attempt to gust your Willow.
Baby doll eyes, last one.
Okay. And good thing it did. Does a 10 hit?
No.
Okay. Another gust, and the Pokemon is taken unawares. It just kind of flies into the side of this wood pile, scattering a few of the boards, but doing 0 damage to you or your Pokemon. Todd.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you see a bad situation unfolding on the other side. Loud noises, and you see a bout of flame travel across the length of these tracks that it seems to be tethered against.
Yeah, this could be going better. I mean, honestly, first things first. Todd is going to heal his Pidgey because he can't just let a Pokemon get hurt that bad and not do something about it.
Yeah.
So he's going to use his healing power.
Okay.
He's going to use 10 points of healing power on his Pidgey, which I guess is probably his action.
Yes.
That is my action. And then can I make Pidgey go up in the sky so he's less likely to get hit by other moves? Use my move action for that?
Sure. For this, we'll say sure.
Tell me why the answer would have been no, so I understand the mechanics.
Yeah, so it would have taken your whole action to be able to heal your Pokemon. Otherwise, you would have used your action to command your Pokemon to do something. But just because your Pokemon hasn't done anything, and it was
just a move, right?
Yeah. So
it's just a move action. Okay.
Yeah.
Hear me out. The way you play it is that you spritz him with the little healing thing or whatever, and you just throw him up in the air and he starts flying. So now he's up there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, it was minor enough.
Okay. Yeah. How high up can he go? Is it his full move action, or there's a sweet? So he's gonna fly
into the sky.
He's gonna fly 25 feet up in the air to stay out of this danger, because it is some major danger.
Great. Your Pokemon flies straight up.
Yeah, Todd knows that there's bad news going on around here, but the most important thing is that he takes care of his Pokemon. So that's what he does.
Okay. Great. Yeah. This guy standing over on the other crate with a booming voice calls down towards you and says, towards Blair, and yells,
"Hey, you get out of there. You're gonna get hurt."
The Electrike is going to take an attack against the Oddish. And it's going to go in for a tackle. That is going to be a 12. Does 12 hit your Oddish?
Oddish. No, AC 13.
Okay, wicked. Yeah, your Oddish kind of wraps it up and leaves and trips it as it runs towards it. This small electric dog, though, is going to turn on its heel and is going to try to come back for a quick attack for its bonus action.
Fuck.
And that is going to be a 17 to hit.
It's a hit, all right.
Okay, your Oddish takes 3 points of normal damage.
Okay, that could be worse.
I will note, because your Pokemon use growth and it is holding concentration on that, it needs to make a Constitution save to see if it can maintain its the growth condition on your Pidgey.
Oh, right. Yeah, which I guess, honestly, who cares if he pulls it off? So that's what? Just a D20 plus my con, or?
Yeah. And you just need to get a 10 or above.
Oh, I majorly got that. That's a 14 before modifiers.
Oh, yeah. Your Oddish has been in a few fights. It knows how to keep its
He knows
concentration.
what's up. He's got it.
All right. Frank is still sort of pivoting around here. He takes a couple of feet away from the Moltres, though, being a little bit more concerned about that. And he grits his teeth as he yells out to his Stantler, "Stantler, you better wake up!" Stantler is going to attempt to wake up, and it still does not.
Oh, one day.
One day it will wake up. Top of the round, the Moltres looks around. The only target it sees within range is Maggie and your Cubone. So it's going to shoot about a flame that is going to strike both of you. Can I get both of you to give me a dexterity save? Both you and your Pokemon.
Okay, so I am just an 8 minus 1. Alright, so we're just gonna, hold on, roll d20. That's a probable miss, because that's a 5. Cubone, you got no modifier. That's a 9, so they both definitely get hit.
Yeah. So your Pokemon...
That's gonna be ow.
It's not rolling high damage. So between the two of you, as you guys see this thing of flame coming, you throw up your jacket, your Cubone puts its little bone in front of its face. Neither of you are fast enough to avoid the damage coming at you, though, and you are engulfed in the fire. You take 18 points
Jesus.
of fire-type damage, which I think your Cubone might be...
He's not.
He's not resistant?
Nope. Poison and rock resistant.
Uh,
Yeah, he's not rock type, he's ground type.
Right. So both of you take that basically to the face. You have to pat yourself to put yourself out as the fire disappears around you.
Hold on, let me see if that knocks out my poor little guy. Because I don't remember what his thing is. Where did you go? Alright, where's your HP? It's somewhere on this sheet. 32. Oh, good, buddy. You have more HP than I do. Okay, no, we're about even right now. So, ow! We're just trying to help!
It is now your turn, Maggie.
Ah! Just big ouch, all the burns. Gonna attempt to wedge basically his bone in here and start trying to get this peg out of the ground.
Wicked. So both of you are giving this a try at the same time?
Yes.
All right. Can I get a strength check with advantage, and either of you could lead it?
Alright, hold on. I gotta see who's better at this. Alright, we're both the same, so it don't matter. Oh wait, advantage, that's right. Oh, thank God. That didn't do much, 12.
12. No, you're having a hard time getting purchase. Like, this rebar isn't, there's not a lot to grip. It's got little ridges, but you're really having a hard time wedging that bone in there.
Alright. And then I'm grabbing Cubone, and we're gonna 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Wicked. And you guys
30.
run out of range of this other Pokemon.
There you go.
It stares at you
No.
as you run.
man, that hurt. Anyway, that's my turn.
Okay. This guy slinking around in the back calls out to his Pidgeotto, which is going to make another attack against your Willow.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be another gust. That's only going to be a 6.
A 6 will miss.
Yeah, that misses horribly. Blair, it's now your turn.
Okay. I would like to make an argument, and if it's
Uh-oh.
I know if it's not okay, then that's fine. But I left the wood wedged in the spot.
Okay.
Because I'm assuming I can potentially do that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now, Willow has the charger feet.
Yep.
Could I make an argument that because of the charger feet, it would give him a certain understanding of his body and how to utilize the force behind his body in a charge?
Mhm.
Could I have him do a dash, run at it, and use athletics instead of strength?
Sure.
Okay. Still at advantage if I am also there? Or no?
You've already got it most of the way out of there. I don't think you could help him. Like, you can't move in the same way that he does in this sort of regard.
That's
So-
fine. But because it's a skill check now, instead of a save, I'm adding +2 because of my intelligence,
Yeah.
because of my thing.
Go for it.
Fuck! And then I rolled really poorly. Should have just taken advantage. 7.
7. No. Runs out there
not
and
roll.
doesn't quite hit the peg. Kind of knocks the board a little bit loose. The peg is still halfway out and jiggling in place, but it's going to take another attempt to try and get it out of there.
Okay, can I move out from behind the spot, which is only like 5'10", grab him and move back behind the thing? Okay. For cover.
All right. Yeah, you run out there and you grab him and you hustle him back behind the wood. I kind of mix these guys up. This guy's going to command his Raticate as he's looking down at it. He knows your guy's behind there. He doesn't want to get close to that Moltres, so he yells out, Raticate, stay out of its range. Circle around. Don't let them do any more damage. And the Raticate tries to move through this difficult terrain over here and kind of gets stuck in the wood chips, but is circling around toward you. Todd.
Oh man, this just doesn't get any better, does it?
No.
Man.
Do you have to roll
Order.
to not be paralyzed?
You know what? Geodude is going to do. Oh.
You roll a d4. If it's a 1, it's paralyzed.
I can't have two Pokemon occupying the same square, can I?
Not unless they're
That's fine.
tiny.
That's fine. Geodude is gonna move. He's gonna move up here next to Electrodog.
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna use. He's gonna use Rollout.
Awesome. So he curls himself into
Yeah.
a ball.
That's right. And then he's gonna roll for that.
Okay.
It's a 16 to hit.
16 definitely hits.
Fuck yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So he uses a D8 plus 4. That's 9 damage.
9. Solid. This is a heavy Pokemon, and as it curls itself in and pushes itself off against the ground, it crushes the small rock, doing a considerable amount of damage. The dog sort of growls as it picks itself back up. It looks hurt, but still ready to fight.
Okay.
And just so you know, because you are technically flanking with your Pokemon, if you wanted to roll that again as if you were at advantage, just in case you get a nat 20.
Oh, okay. I didn't.
No.
I didn't get a nat 20.
Okay.
I got a worse roll.
All good.
Are y'all just rolling with real dice?
Yeah.
Nice.
I own too many nice, beautiful clickety-clacks not to.
I mean, that's super fair.
You are more than welcome to roll like that as well, Alyssa, if you'd like to.
Okay.
Your call.
Yeah.
nice.
You're not auditing our die rolls. You're not gonna make me point a webcam at it.
No, I've never been that picky. I've always been of the mind that generally, if we're playing with the right people, anyways, that if you're fudging your rolls, then I mean you're taking
If I was
something away
fudging
from
my
your own
rolls,
game.
I would have hit more often.
Exactly.
I would
I'm more or
memorize the
less than bad
Pokemon's
at math.
AC, and I would like very like strategically be like, oh, I hit, but barely.
Nope.
This big leader guy is gonna burp, and his Electrike is gonna go in for a couple attacks against your Geodude, because that's all he can do. He's gonna
Bring
go
it
in for
on.
a tackle first. That's gonna be a 17 to hit.
Oh, that did actually hit. So, yikes.
So that is going to be 3 points of normal type damage.
Okay.
Reduced to
Oh,
1
maybe.
because he's resistant.
Okay.
Right.
and
And then he's going to go in for a quick attack, which is only going to be a 10 to hit.
That misses.
That misses.
Not quick enough.
In fact, he probably just bounces off the rocky side of your Pokemon, doing nothing.
Bonk.
All right. Top of Frank's turn, his Pokemon is going to wake up.
Oh man, finally?
Yeah, the Stantler finally pulls itself to its feet, looking around it. It is entirely surrounded by fighting Pokemon at this time, and it is just going to try to go for a stomp on that Oddish.
Poor baby.
Ugh.
That's a pretty good
Okay.
roll. That is a dirty 20.
Yeah, that really hits.
Oddish is going to take 12 points
Fuck me.
of normal type damage as it brings down both its hooves on top of this much smaller Pokemon.
Wow.
No, people make jam out of the Oddish.
Oddish does need to make a Constitution save
Oh,
for its
man.
concentration. It just needs to be a 10.
Well, that's good because it's a 12.
There you go. Maintains
Yay.
its concentration. Pidgey's still swole.
Oh, I do want to point out we haven't been rolling damage for the Electrike and the Fire Spin.
Oh, good call. Yeah, it is still surrounded by fire, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't know how many rounds passed.
It's been 2 rounds, so roll
Should I
2d6.
roll- That's 10 damage.
10 points of damage.
Excuse me.
The way that I usually rule this in my home games is when we're playing typical D&D, I say the weave works in mysterious ways. In this, the fire's just been accumulating, and it suddenly looks like it's hurt. And as the burns sort of flare up against it, you hear a howl and a bit of a whimper from this Pokemon. And it looks very hurt now.
8.
Okay, top of the round. The Moltres looks around at all of you guys and all the movement.
No.
It looks up at this guy who's leaning over the railing. It purses its lips and its beak shoots up a mound of flame towards this guy. However, it dissipates a foot away from its face, it only having a 60-foot range.
Oh, that's so disappointing.
Jesus Christ, Maggie, one more away.
Maggie, it's your turn.
I'm moving one more away.
Maggie does a quick calculation and says, "Shit, I'm not far enough away."
She dives into the pile of lumber.
Yeah, just nope.
Maggie's
And
like,
then,
math.
Exactly, and now I'm gonna use where is it? Hold on, I think it's Nightshade again on the Stantler, which should do double damage because I think Stantler's psychic.
Okay, roll your attack.
Yes. What? Oh no, it doesn't work. It's a 1.
Okay. You will note that regardless, the move seems to have 0 effect on this Pokemon. It is immune to ghost type damage.
Oh, because it's normal type 2, ain't it?
It is.
Yep. Yup. I forgot. It's not the things. All right.
This grunt up here is going to continue running around, keeping an eye on his Raticate. He's going to call out for it to run up and try to get closer to you and your Pokemon. But it can't quite get to you yet. It is scurrying around all this lumber, it tripping it up and significantly decreasing its movement. It is going to stop there, though, and it is going to rub its little teeth together, growling. And it summons these spectral swords around its head that float there in place. Using sword stance. Blair, it's your turn.
Okay. Okay, Willow, we're gonna give that another try, but we're gonna risk the paralyzation because it just might be worth it. Do a charging quick attack. So he's gonna run and he's gonna do a charging quick attack, so an actual attack on the rebar post.
Yeah, give me an attack roll then.
But
first,
roll for paralyzation.
Yeah, if it's a 1, it's paralyzed.
It's a 3.
Beauty.
It's a 14 for the rebar post to hit it.
To hit?
Yes.
Roll some damage for me.
Okay. Can I make an intellectual roll for Blair to determine if him attempting to shove it 10 feet would be more effective than additional damage? Because I can either shove or do additional damage.
Right, because you're charging?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because he's doing a running charge. Quick attack.
You imagine that shoving it would probably be more beneficial in this regard?
Then I'm going to roll some damage and I'm going to shove it 10 feet.
Okay.
So that's going to be 4 points of normal type damage, and Willow is going to shove the rebar 10 feet.
Oh yeah, more than enough. This peg, which was already coming quite a bit loose,
So he kind of like uppercuts it
with a full
with his
body.
shoulder.
Basically, yeah, and drives it out of the ground, and it falls loose. As it does so, the Pokemon that is tethered, this mighty Moltres, whips its body, and the tether goes flying with the peg on its end, almost like a flail whipping across the top of the wood and wrapping around.
And I'm going to quickly dash out, or dart out, grab Willow, and hide behind the wood.
Okay, you do seem to have given it a bit more movement. It now seems to be free enough that it can move a little bit in place. Its wings are still wrapped, and it's certainly not free yet.
Yep. I'm gonna scribble it out.
All right. This guy back here with his Pidgeotto, he scratches his head and he looks a little bit more fearful than he did before, and he yells out, "Oi, girl, that's a bad thing you just did there. Oh, fuck. Shit." And his Pidgeotto is going to try to make a gust attack against your Willow.
Okay.
That's going to be a 16.
Yes. Hits.
The Pidgeotto is going to do 12 points of flying type damage.
Willow is unconscious.
Knocking your little Pokemon against your chest and knocking it unconscious. It disappears inside a red light inside your Pokeball.
Aw.
And
Who are you replacing it with?
there's no shelter back there. I want to use chamomile, but she's poisoned. Toss out Mandrake. Mandrake! Oh, I can't move my. There he goes. That target? It's the pole. The pole is the target.
All right, so you toss your Nidorino over on
Yeah.
that end. This purple Pokemon with spikes off its back, large rabbit-like ears, and a big horn on the top of its head. It looks tough. It's stout and it stands there next to the pole looking at it, taking stock of it as it looks back at you. Todd.
Oh man. Well, we're gonna keep trying on the Electro Dog. Or the little deer didn't get up successfully, correct?
It did, so it finally woke
No,
up.
did, and fucking smashed my shit.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So then we're gonna try to put the deer asleep again because that was some big old bullshit. That was some
Alright.
big old bullshit. So
you're-
Ghastly. That's my Ghastly. That's Hypnosis. Okay, so we're gonna try Hypnosis again.
Absolutely. Its eyes light up again with that blue light. The Stantler is going to make a wisdom save.
Yeah.
That's a 16 this time.
Yeah, and sorry, I know you explained this to me already, but I don't understand how what they're saving against.
All good. So
which number it is here.
yeah, so your save is going to be a 8 plus whatever your proficiency is. So I believe that's a +3 plus
On
whatever
wisdom,
the
yeah.
move powers modifier would be.
Okay, so that's 11. Move power modifier, hypnosis. I mean, it just says D4 plus. So do I just roll a D4 then?
No, your modifier would be whatever the move power is. So move power should say wisdom or intelligence, I believe.
It says wisdom.
Right, so that means your wisdom modifier. The numbers that come after that are what the damage dice would be for a damaging attack.
Right. Okay, so I'm using wisdom twice, so that's 14 is the DC, and you said they rolled 16, so I guess
Correct.
they pass the DC. Is there like a...
A half? No, for
whatever,
this
if they
one,
succeed. No, it's just they just don't fall
Yeah.
asleep. Okay.
yeah, so this time the
guess that's
Stantler,
it.
looking a little drowsy, stamps its feet a few times, shakes its head and snorts, but it does not fall asleep.
That sucks. That's all I got then.
All right. This Pokemon now being broken from one of the tethers. The big boss up top here looks particularly frightened, and he backs away from the railing.
Considering it can fly towards him, well, shimmy towards him? Shimmy 5 feet.
And he steps back to a place of relative safety for himself. And he calls out towards you.
Look what you've done!
But he is going to command his Pokemon, his Electrike, to try to attack your Geodude. So the first is going to be a tackle. That's a really good roll. That's going to be a dirty 20.
That obviously hits.
So your Geodude is going to take 7 points of normal type damage. Reduced to 3 points because he's resistant.
Okay, thank God.
And he's going to use a quick attack as his bonus action. That is a natural 20.
Oof.
Fuck.
Jeez, dirty and natural?
So he's going to take 8 points of normal type damage, reduced to 4 because he's resistant. So your Geodude is taking these hits, and basically they're bouncing off him. His
Yeah,
hard, rocky
thankfully.
form is adept at these sort of things.
Thank God.
All right. The Moltres sees this Nidorino standing over at the other peg, and it just instinctively looks over at it and opens its mouth and lets loose a large
Aw.
flamethrower.
Deck save?
Dex save from the Nidorino.
One day we'll release this thing.
11. It presses its body close to the ground and tries to hunker in, but it is far too slow and it is engulfed by the flames.
It's actually relatively dexterous. I just rolled really bad.
Eh.
It's going to take 23 points of fire type damage.
Oh my lord.
Wait, way to power through my temporary hit points and take me down almost to half.
Maggie,
Jesus Christ. All right.
you do see that other tether just flying around, whipping in the air as this Pokemon throws its body around.
This one?
Yeah.
It's, do I help or do I have to get the peg, but Coupon's so low on health.
It's fine. I can do it. It's good. I still got chamomile. I'm just saving her.
I got tiny babies. The tiny babies can't do anything.
That's why I pulled chamomile back, because she's poisoned, but I got her. I'm just trying to use what I got. She's my last resort.
Alright. Oh, by the way, that last flame wheel should probably go off at either this turn or that last turn, so...
Oh,
that's
you're
2.
right. Yeah, I guess we gotta remember that, eh? Give me another D6.
I just did it to 2, and it's over now.
It is. Okay. That Electrike
and then-
is almost swept off its feet. It looks like it's ready to keel over.
Alright, here we go. Gonna use Nightshade on that, then.
Okay, give me an attack roll.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 hits.
Yeah, 2, 4. That is 12. 12 damage.
12. As the darkness basically swells from underneath that pile of timbers next to it, it pulls the feet out from underneath the Electrike and it falls to the ground with a dull thump. It whines for about a second before it keels over. Unconscious.
Nope. And then I'm also making Cubone hide in the lumber.
Okay. All you guys just sort of hunkering down inside this pile of lumber.
Yes, the flames hurt. That's it.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Okay, the grunt at the backside that you guys had tussled with up on top of the offices there starts running back towards the backside of the fort, calling out his Raticate. Raticate! Don't let that thing release the Moltres! And the Raticate is going to start running. At a full dash around the backside of the lumber. That's about as far as it can get. Blair.
Okay. Blair is going to step out so that the Moltres can see her. That's Willow. Willow's unconscious. And scream out to the Moltres. Moltres! Please! Please help us! I'm trying to help you! And I point at Maggie, and I point at Todd, and I point at my Pokemon and say, we're trying to free you! They're the bad ones! Please! Please let us help you!
Okay. Give me a persuasion.
At advantage because I already knocked a peg out?
No.
Aw.
Got ass.
It's far too
I like
animalistic. It doesn't understand intent at this moment. 7. This Pokemon is red hot with fury. You see the flames across its body actually swell for a moment as it locks eyes with you.
And I'm gonna back up behind the wood.
Hear me out. Crows can remember faces. So if you help a crow at some point, it will remember your face and do good things by bringing you small little trinkets.
Oh, don't worry. This one will remember your face.
Can Moltres remember my face? In a positive way?
Exactly.
This one is going to... Steve at the back is going to call out to his Pidgeotto to likewise assist the Raticate, and it goes flying across the field. Over to here. Todd,
That's me.
it's your turn.
Yeah, man. I am gonna have Geodude attack this dog again.
It is currently unconscious, just so you know. I
The
didn't
dog
remove
is.
its body, but it is unconscious.
Oh. Great. Fuck yeah. Well, then he's going to attack the deer instead.
Excellent.
You should put like little like faces on them.
Little black faces on them.
Yes.
He's
Little
gonna
X's.
use,
Put those big circle X's through them, like they're unconscious.
There's like an X
Yeah.
icon
Yeah, there's a
you
big
can put
circle.
on
Yeah,
it.
you go.
Yeah, you go.
Fuck yeah. All right, so Geodude is going to use rollout against the deer then.
Okay. Let's go.
That's an 18 to hit.
That hits. Solid hit.
Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. That is 6 damage.
6 points of damage. Excellent. All right, the Stantler takes it pretty
And that's it for
squarely.
now.
It's a pretty tough Pokemon, but you do scuff its fur, and it snorts a little bit as it kicks at the ground. The big boss guy is going to start running away.
Yeah. That's right. Fucking run.
Towards the front end of the fort, putting as much distance as he can between the Moltres and him. His Pokemon down on the ground is currently out of commission, so he's going to throw another Pokemon down there.
Jesus.
That's so far.
Right? As far as he can throw it is like over here.
Yeah.
Nice.
How are you doing that? How are you drawing that like distance line to show
so
range?
Top left, there's a ruler with a little circle around it, and
Yeah.
you click on that, and then you just drag.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So the ball lands on the ground and it reveals another Pokemon. This one looks very similar to the purple one, a bit to the north, but feminine in a way. It has a bit more of a hunch to it, still the big rabbit-like ears, a bit more of an aqua blue complexion to it, and it looks over at the fight in front of it. But Cliff used his entire action to run, so that's the end of his turn. Frank holds out his hand and he says, "Stantler, finish off the little one." And the Stantler is going to try to make another stomp at the Oddish.
Oh no.
That's going to be a 16 to hit.
Oh no.
I believe that hits Oddish, right?
Just trying to find my
Probably.
right. There's so many character sheets.
I have to keep. By the way, you can keep them like up on your screen and just minimize them, so you don't have to look for them every time.
13 is the AC for Oddish, so that hits hard.
Okay. Your Oddish is going to take 13 points of normal type damage as it brings down both hooves on top of its little petaled head.
Aw. Poor baby.
All right.
How's Oddish
That's
looking?
Not good.
Okay. It needs to make another concentration. So Constitution save to see if it can hold its growth.
Probably not. That's a 2.
Yeah.
Aw.
This time, as it's growing weaker, its one little eye swelling a little bit. It finally drops its concentration on the growth, and your Pidgey shrinks to its original size. It is no longer swole.
Well, I mean, that's fine, because it's, paralyzed? Or,
It is
whatever the
paralyzed as
effect
well.
is.
Yep.
yeah, so haven't really been able to use it anyway. Or felt it was worth the risk to use it and not get a move out.
4.
Could be worse. That's not good, but that could be worse.
Too far. Okay. The Moltres whips its head around, seeing these two Pokemon running around the backside, and it lets loose another bout of flame that heads straight towards that Pidgeotto. The Pidgeotto is going to make a dexterity save. Failing horribly. Woo! Going to take 24 points of fire type damage.
Oh my god.
Wow.
And is actually just knocked out of the sky. this guy can replace his Pokemon, and he releases his Krabby as a free action. The other Pokemon disappearing inside a red light, being brought back to his Pokemon, or his Pokeball, and he drops his other one. But that Pidgeotto is done. Maggie.
Okay, Lumiere, I'm gonna need you to be a big boy, and I need you to go convince the Moltres that we're here to help. Go, buddy, go! And I'm gonna have him start dashing over there as fast as his little floaty body can go.
Okay. Yeah, he starts running over.
Going. Let me see how much movement he's got. Hold on. He's got 15, so 20, 25, 30.
All
He's
right.
running.
He starts hopping over there.
It's so good.
Awesome. Because he uses his action to dash this turn, he won't be able to do anything, but he looks very
Yeah,
intent.
that's fine. He's going. He's starting.
All right. Okay. On this backside here.
Can I make an argument for my next turn really quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I told him to go make friends with the Moltres, may I use my action to command my other Pokemon? Because he's still technically fulfilling the action that I had given to him. Does that work?
Let's see next turn. So generally, your Pokemon will be of a single mind that every turn you will command it to do one single thing. So this turn, your action probably would have been more likely commanding him to get close enough to fulfill his action.
Okay.
At which point he would await his next command, which would be to do such and such. Kind of like when you're talking to a dog, you don't tell him to go do this, then do this, then do this, do this. You tell him the command as it comes.
I get it, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, Pokemon 5e action economy.
Yeah.
Tough.
There's like.
So the grunt at the backside of the fort starts running around towards his Raticate. As he does so, he calls out, "Raticate, use your swords dance! Cut that thing down!" And it is going to whip its spectral swords towards your Nidorino.
I don't think it can do anything.
So that's going to be 3 attacks. Each of them doing 1d6. Okay, so on the first attack, that's a natural 1. It just flies wild.
Okay.
The second sword falls off the table. Second sword, that is a 17 to hit.
Yep.
So that one hits, so 1 hit. And the last one, that is a 11 to hit.
Miss.
Okay,
So
so
one.
only one of them hits. That's going to be only 2 points of normal type damage.
Okay.
Hitting your Nidorino. And it's going to tuck in behind this pile of lumber over here. Blair.
Okay. Gonna have Blair step out and say, Moltres, I get it. This is tough, but actions speak louder than words, so watch Mandrake! Mandrake, double kick it! And he's gonna try and, like, double kick up the...
Yeah, tell me how double kick works.
I strike twice with
Okay.
devastating kick, so I make 2 melee attacks.
Okay, make 2 melee attacks.
Melee.
14 for the first against the pole.
Okay, you hit it.
Okay, and then the second attack is a 10.
10. It strikes it, but you get the sense that it didn't have the same sort of striking capacity as the other one. So roll
And I
damage
rolled
for the first.
really poorly on the double kick, so that's 5.
5.
Yeah.
So you've bent the bar. It looks like the bar itself has lost some of its structural integrity, but it hasn't broken. Not yet.
And then I say, getting that pole out is going to free you. Please, I beg you, stop attacking my friends. And then I'm going to step back.
Okay. Okay. This Moltres is a massive problem, and this guy back here doesn't want to get anywhere close to it. He takes his Krabby by the claw and drags him over this way with him.
Takes his Krabby by the claw.
Todd.
Go, buddy.
Very quick question about like action economy here. So I can only command one Pokemon per turn.
Yep.
Do I have to command it to like move and use its action in order, or can it like use an action and then say retreat or move?
Sure. Absolutely. So you could
Yeah.
even say move a little bit, do an action, and then move the rest of your movement. You can break those
Okay.
up as much as you want.
Okay, that's super good to know. Oh man, this is a dope ass move, but this is probably gonna hurt some of my other Pokemon. Fuck it. I'm gonna have my Oddish use Acid.
Okay.
In a 30-foot cone centered on my Oddish.
Yeah.
I don't know how wide this cone is, but at the very least, it's going to get my Pidgey.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any way that you could do it without hitting at least one of your other Pokemon. So your
what
Pidgey's
about
way
Todd
high up,
himself?
though. Your Pidgey.
Oh,
your Pidgey's only
right.
20 feet up, so it would still hit.
25.
Yeah. So if it was 30 feet up, it would be outside, but because it's within 20. Hold on here, because it's 30
But,
at
like,
its
how-
distance. At
Let's
its.
hang on. Let's do some physics here.
Yeah. I like it.
This is a 30-foot cone. So does that mean that like the total distance of the cone is 30 feet, or it's 30 feet wide?
So, as per D&D, it would be
It's
30
weird.
feet long, so this long, okay? And then at
Okay.
its widest, which would be the end of it, it would be 30 feet. So, from here, it would be another 30 feet. Okay? So, oh, wow.
Okay.
How did you draw a shape like that? That is wicked.
Right click.
Okay.
Right click?
Yep, you hold down and then just right click the spot.
Oh, look at
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So, never mind. I think I've been convinced Pidgey would be outside of it. It's too high.
Shit, yeah. Okay. All right, we're doing it. Where? Oh my god. I have so many characters. Jeez.
Yeah.
So Stantler has to make a
Okay.
dexterity save, I think.
Yeah, hang on. Creatures caught in the cone must make a dex save. Which means 8 plus proficiency plus my stat is a save, right? Did I remember that correctly?
Proficiency plus the move power modifier, so that would be your. For that one, I'm not.
That would be
sure
my
what it is.
dex.
Yeah.
That
So
would be
it'd
my
be
dex.
3 plus whatever your dex modifier is. Plus that 8.
Plus that 8. Okay, so then that is 12.
12?
That's the DC is 12.
Okay.
Yeah.
This Pokemon seems to be particularly dexterous.
Okay.
This is going to be a 17 for this Pokemon for its save.
Ah,
But it will
okay.
still take
Well,
half damage.
Okay. All right. Okay. So half damage is then. Where's my D12? D10, D12. Oh, okay. So that's 11 plus 2 is 13, and half of that, do we round up or down?
Always round down.
Always round down. So that's 6 damage that it takes.
Okay. Yeah, even though the Stantler kind of buries its head in the ground, kicking up a little bit of dirt to shield itself, it still manages to take a bit of the damage. The acid dripping down its form and burning its skin.
Okay. And then I'm going to have my Oddish move 20 feet.
Okay.
This
Know
way.
that by doing so, it will incur an attack of opportunity, potentially.
Oh, right. I don't think think I can survive an attack of opportunity if it hits. I'm just gonna risk it and stay where I am.
Okay.
Although I regret telling you that. I guess you can see my character sheet. Never mind, it's fine.
Not that I'm looking at your character sheets.
I mean, you could.
Okay. The big boss guy is going to continue lumbering around the edge here, running towards the front of the fort. And he's going to yell,
Arena, get in there.
and the Nidorina is going to start running in, but it uses its full dash to get that far. This Stantler is hopping mad as it looks around at all the Pokemon around it. It is going to try to finish off the weakest amongst the one below it and go in for another stomp.
Little thing.
Does a 12 hit? Sorry, does a 12 hit the Oddish?
The Oddish. I was just about to ask which one. No, it does not.
Wow.
Hey, he made it.
Yeah, basically both hooves stomping on either side of this small fern, nearly shaving off a leaf on either side, but doing 0 damage as it misses its target.
That's right. Fucking antler dick.
Okay, the Moltres whips its head around, and it looks at the small candle who's running towards it. It opens its mouth and it shoots a large bout of flame towards your Litwick. Litwick needs to make a dexterity save.
For fire?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't take any damage.
Wow. So tell me
Sick.
about this ability of your Litwick.
Let me go grab his little thingy-mabobber. Flash Fire. This Pokemon takes no damage from fire. Instead, immediately after taking a hit from a fire-type move or an open flame, double the stab bonus on the next fire-type move.
Wicked. So the fire basically washes over this small candle Pokemon, and it comes away looking pristine, having 0 damage having taken from it.
Yes! I read this and I was like, perfect! Go, buddy, go!
So wait, it doesn't just like not take fire damage, but it's going to have an advantage because it got attacked with
Yes.
fire?
Yep.
That is fucking sweet.
Yeah, its little candle on top of its head, the little flame burns a little brighter than it did before, ignited by the flame of this legendary Pokemon. It is now Maggie's turn.
Go, Litwick, continue. Go make the friends. 5, 10, 15. And it's just gonna do
Sure.
all the little jumping up and down, cute things, talking to Moltres
Okay,
to try and get them to be friends.
awesome. Can I get it to give me a persuasion check?
Yes. Where is that on the sheet? Okay, got it. That's 18!
Wow. As this little candle jumps up and down doing somersaults, it makes an impassioned plea towards this Pokemon. We all wish we understood what it was saying, because the Moltres seems to
It's like the moment
visibly
in the Pokemon movie
calm
where
down a
Pikachu
little bit.
talks.
It's because he Moltres now got a respect. He just full on faced that fire flamethrower like a pro.
The Moltres stops shaking. Its eyes sort of dull a little bit as it really takes stock of this small candle Pokemon in front of it. It still turns its head to look at the aggressors around it. There's a lot of strong Pokemon and violence that is occurring here that's kept it a bit on edge, but it doesn't look violent in the same way that it was before.
Yay. Go, Litwick. Be the savior. Go, Lumiere. And that's, that's my turn.
Awesome. Okay.
Maybe Maggie will come out of the lumber a little bit, but that's about it with Cubone.
This grunt in the back is going to run, pressing himself against the shipping containers and keeping as far away from that Moltres as he can. And he's going to call back out to his Raticate.
Do not let them release it.
And the Raticate's going to take a run at your Raticate, breaking out from
Okay.
behind that Sorry, the Raticate's going to take a run from behind that pile of wood towards your Nidorino. And it's going to try to bite you.
Okay.
Wow, that's going to be a 18?
Yep.
It's going to be 15 points of dark type damage as it grabs into the scruff on the back of the Nidorino's neck. And then it's going to rear back and try to make a quick attack with its tail as a bonus action. It's going to be a natural 19,
Yep.
which is going to be higher than 20. And that's going to be 4 points of normal type damage as it slaps the backside of your Nidorino with its tail. Blair.
Okay, I'm gonna do it down. Okay. So it's not as hostile,
No, not at the moment.
specifically to Litwick or in general.
Hard to say. It doesn't look as violent as it was before. Like before, it was throwing its bodies against the tethers. It was throwing its head around, spewing flames, and it's not doing that. It's pawing at the ground a little
R.I.P.
bit.
guys, this might get me killed.
Fine.
Okay. Blair is going to approach the Moltres.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that touching it is probably going to hurt me.
That's an assumption.
Uh-huh. I'm going to try to touch its face just briefly
Mm-hmm.
in a calming manner.
How to Train Your Dragon style.
Yeah. And pull away and say, Moltres, I really, really want to help you. But I can't. If that Pokemon is hurting my Pokemon, please, please help us help you. And I point at the Raticate.
Okay, first, give me a Constitution save. This Pokemon is very hot, and you
Okay.
realize that now being this close, you are sweating. Your skin feels like you're standing next to a hot, hot
15!
burner. But you're taking it.
Okay.
Give me a Persuasion check.
An advantage because Litwick's dancing and also trying to be kind?
No.
Fuck.
This is still a difficult situation.
14. Okay.
It doesn't immediately turn around and bite you. As you put your hand towards its face, it does shy away from you. But it looks at you, its eyes full of a mix of emotions.
Yep.
You're not entirely certain what is going on through its
And
head.
I'm assuming that's my turn, and I just... Because I can't command
Okay.
Mandrake to attack, right?
Correct.
And I just point at the Raticate, hoping that the Moltres will attack the Raticate.
Okay.
I know that Mandrake will take a hit, but...
All right. This guy back here is going to continue running with his crabby in hand, going, "Oh yeah, let's get out of here, man. This is getting a little hairy." And he continues to run around this side. Todd.
Let's do. You know, I'm gonna do another one of those acid moves because that was dope.
Okay.
And it does damage whether it like hits or not, or whether they like succeed on the save or not. So let's do another one of those acid moves.
Okay. So he's going to
Please
make a save.
Do a check.
Not as good. Okay, that is still a 15.
That does save.
Yeah. Yeah, this Pokemon's pretty swift. It's pretty dexterous. So as it's having these bouts of acid thrown at it, it's managing to avoid the majority of the damage.
But it still takes half, right?
Correct.
Okay, so it takes half of. Plus 2, so it takes 5 damage. It takes.
Okay. Yeah, the acid's still dripping down its horns. You can see that they're scarred from the the corrosiveness, and it is taking more damage. It's looking a bit hurt.
What does it mean that this is poison type damage? Does that mean anything, or is that just for flavor?
So it does mean something. So different Pokemon are weak or resistant to different types of damage. So, for instance, like your Geodude is very resistant to normal type damage, so it'll take half damage to that. If it's vulnerable to something, it will take double the damage from it.
Right. I assume that this reindeer has neither a vulnerability or a defense against poison. Then.
Correct.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense.
I'm saying this more because I'm shocked. You've never played Pokemon before?
Well, I have a couple times in my life played a Pokemon game about to the first gym leader.
Okay.
That's it.
That at least makes a little bit more sense to me. All right.
So
what?
I get the overarching concept of Pokemon, but any of the mechanics are I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool. No, it's just weird to hear anybody nowadays being I haven't played Pokemon, so you played it, you just not very far. Got it.
And not in 15 years. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm familiar with what a pocket monster is, but how they work, not so much.
All right. While you are entangled with this battle against this large deer, the larger gentleman is still running around the outside here, coming closer to you. And he is going to call down for his Pokemon to engage with yours. It's actually going to run in against your Geodude there, flanking around the side of it. And it is going to do a double kick against your Geodude.
Okay.
So it runs in, 2 feet flying forward at it. The first attack is going to be a 12. Does 12 hit your Geodude?
Miss.
Miss?
That misses.
All right. It flies around with a second kick. And that is going to be a dirty 19.
Oh, that really hits. Yeah.
So this one is going to do 9 points of fighting type damage.
Okay.
You'll note that your Geodude is susceptible to fighting type damage, and it will take double that.
Oh no.
So he takes 18 damage? Is that what you're telling me?
Correct.
Oh, shit.
Basically,
Yeah,
your
that
Geodude has been having all these attacks bounce off it the entire time. It turns around, and it takes one faceful of foot this time, and it shatters the rock against its scalp.
Wow. That's a big one.
Okay. Frank is really taking in all these Pokemon surrounding his Pokemon at this time, and he calls out, Stantler, let's knock one of them out. Use Hypnosis. And the Stantler turns towards your Ghastly. Its horns flaring up in a bright light, the center of them looking like giant eyes, and they glow a bright blue. I need your Ghastly to give me a Wisdom save.
Okay. 16.
16. Very good.
Thank you. I tried my best.
Yeah, your Ghastly resists the hypnosis and does not fall asleep.
Fuck yeah.
All
Also, is
right.
that a ground move?
Which? Sorry?
Is that a ground move?
No. Hypnosis is a psychic type move.
Okay.
All right. The Moltres. It is flanked on either side by a little girl and a little candle, both making pleas towards it. Its head moves in either direction, and it seems to understand the Litwick a little bit more than it understands the girl. And for the moment, it doesn't do anything. It seems to passively sort of sit there, unsure of what its next move is. Maggie.
Go help untie, and I'm gonna have Lumiere just. I think that's all his movement. I think he's there though. I think he's next to that Moltres. I just can't tell token wise.
Yeah, close enough.
Yeah, so he gonna help try and do any nodding.
Sure.
All making little cute noises and talking.
You will note that the tethers, aside from the one that has been pulled loose, are held too taut at the moment. Like, this Pokemon has really been reefing on them. So there's not a lot of untying that you can do against the body of the Pokemon itself. You would have to release the tension by removing the other pegs.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna have him be just kind of like sitting next to the feet of this thing, jump up on the tether, and use Nightshade on the tether.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, give me an attack roll.
That's a 21.
21. Give me some damage.
That's 4 plus 7, so... Actually, is it the D4? Yes, the 2D4 plus 7, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 damage.
All right, so it's the damnedest thing. The shadow that is cast by this peg suddenly starts to shiver, and it almost compresses in a way, and you see that the shadow itself twists and turns as if the peg itself was being compressed or bent. And as you look at the peg, it too mimics that form, and it kind of cracks and starts bending and breaking. It is still together, but you have definitely done damage to it.
Cool. And then I'm Maggie, and she's holding Munchkin, and we're just gonna run up here.
Okay.
That's it.
All right. This Raticate in the back, commanded by its master, who continues to run along the backside. Is going to continue its assault on your Nidorino.
Yeah.
The first attack is going to be a 10.
Which is a miss.
It's going to go in for a quick attack, which is going to be a 9.
A miss.
Misses twice. Blair.
I look at Mandrake and say, Mandrake, I know that the Raticate is beating on you, but we gotta get this peg out. Double kick the peg! And he's gonna double kick the peg.
Okay, standing right beside it, it turns around and kicks both of its back feet towards it.
Okay, so the first attack is 17.
17 hits.
Which is 10 points.
Okay. So it definitely breaks it. The peg in one part shatters. The tether itself is still tied to a bit of it, though. It is not entirely broken yet.
Okay. And the second attack is 15.
15 hits.
Which is 7 points.
That does it. The rest of the peg completely destroyed. And what little is left is very easily pulled out of the ground by this much stronger legendary Pokemon. It pulls the tether, and once again, now with a little bit extra freedom, it whips that tether back and it goes flying. You have to duck as it whips over top of your head and around, landing and clinking across the ground.
Mandrake! Try and leave its space! He's gonna try and move.
Okay, you will take an attack of opportunity. That's a... What is that?
He goes zoom.
If he makes it there.
That's going to be a 17.
Fuck. Yeah,
Oof.
that hits.
And that is going to be a... Rolled minimum damage. That's going to be 4 points of dark type damage.
I knew he could survive one hit, maybe, but I knew he couldn't survive two, so I was like, oh.
Roll 2 1s.
Nice.
All right, Krabby in hand. Steve is going to continue running along the side here. Hop, hop. Todd, it's your turn.
Okay. We're just gonna keep trying this acid move because it's pretty dope. So I'm gonna do it again against the same creature, this reindeer.
Okay.
Dick. So that's deck save, please.
Yeah. So that is going to be a 19 this time.
That majorly saves, but you're gonna take half damage anyway. So that's 5 damage.
5 points of damage. Very good. This Pokemon's starting to look very hurt. Between the
Good.
acid and the other hits it's taking, it's all building up.
Okay. That's that.
All right. This big guy's continuing to run along the south side of the wall. End his turn there, and he's going to command his Pokemon to continue its attack. He's going to go in for another double kick on your Geodude.
Okay.
First attack is
I'm
going
ready.
to be a 15 to hit.
Hits.
Okay. The second attack is going to be a 9 to hit.
That misses.
Okay, so the first attack is going to do 7 points of fighting type damage.
Okay.
Doubled because you are vulnerable.
Okay, so how do death saves work in
And the
this?
Pokemons.
In the Pokemons?
All right, so your Pokemon is considered unconscious for the moment. It will
Yeah.
make death saves unless it is stabilized, of which you could stabilize your Pokemon by putting it back into its Pokeball.
He doesn't have a Pokeball. Next.
You could.
Next option.
You don't have a means to revive it. That takes a special medicine. But I would probably argue that applying a potion would stabilize it.
Okay. So I could say, like, use my action for that next turn?
Yeah.
Okay. And do we go into negative HP, or is he just down to 0?
He's just down to 0.
Okay, that's
No negatives in 5e.
that's good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That sucks.
Yeah, basically this big rabbit came out of nowhere. This big spiky rabbit kicked your little Geodude to oblivion
rabbits.
and is now growling at
Okay.
your other Pokemon.
What a dick.
Frank is looking a little bit more happier than that. He moves beside the log here and leans across it a little bit more relaxed. And he looks at his Stantler and says, "All right, let's keep finishing them off. Yeah, that Oddish next. Stomp it." And it's going to go in for another stomp against your Oddish.
Oh, are you sure? Oh, okay.
That's going to be a 22 to hit.
Oh my god.
Poor little guy.
Okay.
Poor baby.
Your Oddish
Oh,
is
no.
going to take 11 points of normal type damage.
Okay, he's also down.
Okay. 2 sharp hooves come down on top of him, pounding him into the ground. You see him go a little bit limp and stop moving, breathing shallowly.
Yikes.
We're so close. Once this Moltres is loose, all hell breaks loose.
Oh, man.
All right. Now it's the
Oh, man.
Moltres' turn. What is the Moltres going to do? Okay, the Moltres has a taste of freedom at this moment. With all you guys sort of surrounding it, and more of you so now joining it, it's getting a bit more uncomfortable with you being so close. It can't fly yet. It is still too intertwined with those tethers, but on its powerful legs, it does start to move. it is going to start moving towards the exit there. Come on. I'm just going to have to draw a new tether, aren't I? There. New tether. Very nice. Yeah, what's its, 60 does about there, right? Yeah, it's not gonna do anything. It just starts moving towards the exit.
For
the moment.
But on the ground still, because it can't fly.
Correct.
Go.
Maggie. This large bird starts lumbering towards you.
Well, taking my boy, going this way. Let's get out of the way there. And one more time, Lumiere, to knock the thing off. So we're gonna do another nightshade.
Okay, give it to me.
That's a 30-20.
That hits, absolutely.
Oh. Wow, that's a big oof. Anyway, 9 damage. Thank God for the +7.
9 damage. That is just enough as the rest of this rebar post basically crumples. You can hear the sound of metal shredding as the whole thing compresses, twists unnaturally, and then breaks in a number of separate parts, releasing the last tether. As it does so, the rest of the lines that are currently wrapping around it start to grow much more loose and start to fall off its body. Okay, this guy at the back here is going to... Yeah, he sees this. He immediately calls back his Pokemon. And he starts running.
Coward.
That's right, you fucking run.
Just at a full dash towards the back stairs here. Blair.
Okay.
You see this Pokemon starting to free itself. Its flames starting to burn a little bit brighter once again as they start to come loose. Its wings starting to unfold.
If I assisted it, would it get out faster?
I mean, maybe.
Well, how tangled is it?
It's pretty tangled.
Okay.
It was tied up at one point in time, and it hasn't been untied, per se.
Mandrake, come and help me! And we're gonna try and start pulling it away.
Okay, I need both of you to give me a Constitution save. As you come within distance of this Pokemon's flame body.
That is a 19 for Blair.
Okay.
And 19 for Mandrake.
Okay. For the moment, both of you guys are good. As you start to untwine all of this stuff around it. No roll needed. You're basically just helping it remove everything on it. This guy who's been running around the side with his crab, he looks down and he goes, "Oh, fuck off. Oh, shit. Yours, wait for me." And he starts turning around and running the other way. With Krabby in hand. Todd.
Oh man. So is using a potion an action or a bonus action? How does that work?
Applying a potion is an action.
Is an action. Okay, I can't do that as a bonus action. And oh man, so I got 2 Pokemon that are down. I can only revive one of them this turn. Is a death save what? Just like a roll a d20, or how's that go?
Yeah, roll a d20. If it's 10 or higher, he's good for that turn. If not, he takes a fail.
3 failures is death. 3 successes
failures
is
death.
stabilization.
That was my question. Okay.
Yeah. I figured.
Okay. I'm going to use a potion
Okay.
on Geodude.
Okay.
That's 2, 6. Okay, so that's 8 HP that he heals. So he just heals to 8 HP. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so Geodude's up. He's doing okay. I mean, he's not doing great, but he's been worse. Get rid of that X.
So for the purposes of Pokemon mechanics, you cannot revive your Pokemon, but you can stabilize them with that. So if he was still up and hadn't gone unconscious, he would be awake and be able to do something. He is still unconscious, but he is stabilized. He will no longer have to make death saves, as he currently is.
Okay, so we'll give him this wrench icon.
Sure.
Because he needs some fixing still. And then I guess I just has to do a death save.
Correct.
Is there any modifier for that, or it's just straight d20?
Just straight d20.
Okay. That's a 14, so that's a pass.
Yeah, your little Oddish is a
let me make
fighter.
That's fucking right, he is. Death saves. 1 save. Okay, I'm just gonna put that in my abilities, I guess, because I don't know where else to put that.
No,
that's
good.
it for me.
All right, the big leader guy looks down and he goes,
Fucking.
He continues running along the edge of the wall, looking down at you, and commands his Pokemon to make an attack against the next target. Doesn't have any means to.
Oh! So what, it's just gonna stand around like an idiot, or?
It, yeah, pretty much.
Which I'm cool with.
No, you know what? It's going to run over
Ah.
towards you, and it's going to try to scratch you. It can't
What a
hurt
dick.
the Ghastly, so it goes in to attack the only target it can. That's going to be a 12, so that will hit you.
My AC is 8? That's
Yeah.
my fucking AC?
You are unarmored.
Jesus.
Yup.
Alright.
Typically, Pokemon trainers try to stay out of the battle.
Alright, well, let's do it.
I think my AC is actually supposed to be a 7 because my dexterity is
Oh,
like
no.
a -1.
That's a good point. What
Alright,
is your
so how-
dexterity, Todd?
My bonus is +1 on Dex. It's a
Okay,
13.
so your
Usually
AC would be
9.
9 then.
Okay, well, I mean, that's still
Yeah.
not
Garbage.
great.
Yeah.
That's still not great. That still hits. How bad does that hit?
That is going to be. It's going to be 4
Are you sure
points.
he doesn't, like, not do... It's going to be 4 points? Are you sure he maybe, like, doesn't do it because of the kindness that radiates off of me?
They, you can. This Pokemon is not a kind Pokemon. As you look at him, he's got scratches and scars over top of him. He looks
Alright,
like he might have been
okay.
whipped into shape. This is a toughened
Can't blame
Pokemon.
me for trying. Alright, let's do this.
Frank is looking a mite bit concerned about what is happening here. He calls out to his Stantler. Use Astonish on that Ghastly. Knock it out.
Ugh.
And the Stantler turns, and its antlers flash a bright color very quickly in an attempt to spook your Ghastly.
Okay.
It doesn't hit. That's a fail. with a natural 1.
That's right.
Yeah, you're ghastly as
That's
unconcerned.
right, it is.
All right. It is now the Moltrez's turn.
Is it just gonna fly away?
The Moltrez shakes off the remainder of the tethers around it with the aid of the trainer by its side, and it starts lifting up off of the ground. And absolutely, it flies straight up into the air, starting to take off. And much like the red comet that you heard of in Rumor, it splits, just taking off across the sky, moving 120 feet.
Bye, Moltres. Thanks for the help! That's Melissa. Not Blair.
Disappearing beyond the walls of the fortress. You can hear it in the distance. Maggie.
Oh man.
I think that's time we get out of here. And I'm gonna recall Lumiere and start running towards exit with Munchkin. 10, 15. Is this guy still fighting? Is he not running?
He isn't at the moment, but he's looking a lot less cool than he's trying to be.
Who was the leader?
Okay.
I mean, he doesn't look
Mr.
very cool.
Moneybags?
So.
Seems to be this guy down
The
here.
leader is this guy down here.
Okay. This asshole.
Did we ever find out what that guy had in his like shopping bag?
No. He's just Mr. Monopoly.
It reminds me of Senior Card Gauge.
Maggie, that's the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Wicked. Alright, this guy back here is just taking off at a full-on sprint. He's going to run up here and disappear into one of the offices in the back side of the fort. Blair.
So this guy has been acting like the leader.
He seems to be.
And this guy's done shit all other than run around with a big bag of something.
He's been fairly intimidated. He does have a bag of something.
I want to know what's in the bag. And
There's still a fight
this
going down
active
at the
danger.
bottom. Yes,
It's one Pokemon.
it is.
This one.
And the Stantler.
And this, well, Stantler's sleeping.
No, Stantler's awake.
Oh, Stantler's awake.
It hasn't been asleep in a long
Yeah,
time.
that Stantler fucking tried to kill my Oddish.
Okay.
Todd is looking at his Pokemon getting beaten up.
He has tears in his eyes.
Yeah.
Grown
Sorry,
man
Dad.
crying over there. Which of the two Pokemon looks the healthiest? Probably the Stantler?
The Nidorina.
The Nidorina.
The
Okay.
rabbit-looking Pokemon that is currently attacking Todd's
I
shins.
call back Mandrake. Nightshade! Go help Todd out! I'll pop Nightshade there.
You
Okay.
see my
Uh,
little
well,
oh, never mind.
On top of this,
Lumiere's not
so it's
out
flanking
anymore.
with Todd.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, you drop your Ekans right there on the field. This guy's gonna continue to run. And he's going to disappear inside one of the back offices with his Krabby as well. The whole time you can hear him mumbling. Todd.
Am I able to just like scoop up my Pokemon and run with them?
Some of them, probably not all. Your Geodude's a little bigger and heavier than some of the other ones. And you only have
Okay.
so many hands.
Right. So. What's the deal with Geodude then? He's too big for me to pick up. He
You could-
can't take any moves. He's
you can
just like
pick up Geodude.
disabled.
You can pick up Geodude. He's only, what is he? Yeah, so he's 44 pounds. I'm just saying you can't carry them all.
Right. So, okay. And Oddish is 12 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Could I theoretically pick up my Geodude and my Oddish and just run with them
Sure.
to try to keep them safe?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because
What's up with your
okay,
Pidgey?
well,
Pidgey's currently flying in the
I
air.
don't know. He's
Oh, okay.
paralyzed but flying in the air. He's out of the way of danger, but
Right,
you know,
he's
sucks
safe,
right
but
now. But he sucks. Yeah.
he's safe, but at risk of danger if he tries to attack.
Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, I would like to do that. I would like to scoop up my Geodude and my Oddish
Sure.
out of concern for their safety
And where would you like to go?
away, like to the door
Sure,
where I
yeah.
came in. I'm going to leave these children behind.
This grown man is crying and abandoning children.
Wow.
I like it. Okay.
Look, he's got his priorities straight. Okay, he doesn't even know you.
I'm 12!
12 and like a 15-year-old. Jesus.
So you did break down the gate before, so you can just run out and leave the map if you'd like. That is fine.
Okay.
You
that's
will
what I'm
take
doing.
2 attacks of opportunity as you do so. Is that okay?
You deserve this.
Unless you disengage and
Todd
go
or
30.
my Pokemon?
Todd will.
Todd or my Pokemon? That's fine. Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So the Stantler is going to try and stomp on you as you leave.
Todd falls unconscious,
Okay.
and Maggie and Blair are left to like.
No, Todd has so many hit points. He'll be
Okay.
okay. He'll be okay.
So that's going to be a dirty 20 to hit you.
I was like, that would be funny.
That hits pretty hard. Yeah.
Yeah, so-
Okay.
The Stantler is going to do 10 points of normal type damage as it
Okay,
strikes
sure.
you with its hooves as you turn to run.
Okay.
The other Pokemon is going to try to scratch you as well.
Okay. Which is that the little rat bunny thing?
Yeah, that's going to be
Okay.
an 11 to hit.
That
and
hits.
you are going to take... Three points of normal type damage from that.
That's fine. That's fine. We're good. Okay. Does that use up my actions too, or could one of my like Pokemon that are still here actually take an action?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah, your
well,
other guys wouldn't have
Gas-
resisted, so you're good.
Yeah. So Ghastly, seeing that Todd is trying to rescue his, Pokemon brethren, is going to do what he can to, delay these terrible Pokemon from following them.
Okay.
So Ghastly is going to use Lick. I guess that's the only actual attack that Ghastly has.
Okay.
Weird. He's gonna lick the deer.
Okay. So roll an
so-
attack.
Okay. Show my. Oh my god, this is so complicated. Roll an attack. Okay. And this is Wisdom. Where's my d20? Here
Yeah,
it is.
plus a d20 plus whatever your proficiency is.
So sorry, d20 plus my Wisdom, or plus my Wisdom and my proficiency?
Your wisdom and your proficiency.
So then that's a 12.
That's a 12. That does not hit.
Okay.
I will also
That's
say
bad.
that as the Stantler backs away, you get the impression that the attack would not have done anything anyways. The Stantler seems to be immune to ghost type attacks.
All right. Okay, that's fine. Somehow I accidentally selected some of the text in the description of this, and so now my description says F18 or higher. The target becomes paralyzed. Higher, L, you reach out. All right.
Okay. Oh, well, the leader guy comes running over towards the side of the gate. He's actually just gonna jump down the side here and try to run. He's pretty close to where you are. He's gonna take a little bit of damage from jumping off. You can hear him grunt as he hits the ground. There's a scrape of metal as he picks up something off the ground that he seems to have dropped, and he looks over towards you, Todd, and he says,
Where do you think you're going? You see, you stole a mighty expensive Pokemon from us, and, way I see it, you need to repay us.
I didn't steal shit. Pokemons are free.
He points towards you a contraption that appears to be, it looks like, almost like a crossbow with a net attached to the end of it. And he shoots it towards you. I need you to give me a dexterity save.
14.
14. The net strikes you and you are engulfed in it. You are currently considered restrained.
Oh, this is like, oh no. I'm like, this is such a typical Steven bullshit.
Yeah, this is bullshit.
You are considered restrained, but you are
I thought I
contained.
was off the map. I thought I was out of here. How is he still getting me?
You are contained within the net with your two Pokemon. And yes, you are considered restrained, and that's the same condition as typical D&D.
Sure. I don't know
so-
what that means in typical D&D, but I assume you'll tell me when I try to do something I can't.
Yeah, so your movement is dropped to 0.
Okay.
You have disadvantage
Okay.
on dexterity saves or checks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do. All right, Maggie, it is your turn.
Well, boyo, I now have to use a thing. That's all. Oh, God dang it! Not a long-range attacker with Munchkin. Ah! All right. Well, 5, 10, 15, 20.
Okay.
25. So basically, just getting to my buddy there while I'm holding
So-
my Cubone.
Yes.
Technically, all 3 of them are off the map then.
Correct. So yeah, note that Todd, this other guy,
Villainy guy.
the Pokemon that he has on him, they are not on the map right now. They have gone
Yeah, that's
off
fine.
map.
I am
Oh,
using
okay.
help action to get him out of rope.
Right. So, but I'm just saying that you
Or
are not,
action.
unless you are you dashing to get to him?
Oh, how far off map?
So he was standing right here when he took his full action to move down there. And did you dash when you
We're
did so,
taking
Todd?
one square.
He
We're taking
dashed
one square
because
off the map.
he
Oh, okay.
got hit.
Okay. So he
Oh,
is,
you were only 1 square.
So
off.
he's about 10 feet away from you right now.
Oh, okay. In that case, I will. Yeah, I'm gonna run up to him.
Okay.
Using all my action to
Okay.
dash.
So you guys are off the map at this time, we will say.
Yes.
But you were right next to each other.
Yes.
Okay, this guy.
I have to jet in half an hour, by the way.
Yeah, about
Blair.
same.
Nightshade, move into flank. Help Ghastly out. Just gonna shift around there.
'Kay.
And I'm going to use bite. That is a 20.
20 definitely hits. Which one are you attacking?
The deer.
'Kay.
Saddler. 9 points of dark type damage.
That definitely does it. The Stantler is knocked unconscious. It disappears inside a bright red light as it returns to its trainer. It's gone. Todd, you are currently restrained within this bundle of webbing, this net. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna have my gonna have my Ghastly attack this other trainer, because fuck this guy.
Yeah, okay.
Fuck this guy. He sucks.
So your Ghastly floats over to him.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to put him to sleep. I'm gonna use Hypnosis.
All right. He's going to make a Wisdom save.
Okay.
That is a 10.
That does not save.
That's right. As he's basically getting ready to monologue over top of you, the Ghastly floats over, flashing its eyes bright blue. The man turns his head to look at it, and he goes... And he keels over, leaning against the side of the container, and starts very aggressively snoring.
That's that.
Correct. And for the sake of everything that is happening here, you guys are essentially out of combat for the moment.
The Nidorino?
Mhm.
Victory!
Okay.
Bum, 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 bum.
It's so calming after all that battle music for 3 hours.
The one guy who is trying to look cool, leaning against one of the logs, backs up slowly, both hands on top of his head, and he says, "Hey, I'm not looking for any trouble. I'm just going to leave, all right?" And
Leave your Pokemon behind.
He looks at you, who is currently still in a bundle on the ground, and he says, "No, that's okay. I'm gonna use the back door. Yeah,
Oh.
good. See ya.
I
Goodbye."
guess I'm not in that position to make demands.
I'm just starting to get him out of this thing.
Sure. While you do so, the guy literally just turns and he starts walking away in the same direction that the other two
I'm
guys
gonna
just
tie
ran.
up the sleeping guy.
Okay, you're gonna run over and
Yeah.
you're gonna tie up the guy who's
Yeah, who's
sleeping.
gonna wake up? Yeah.
Without much trouble, now that the tension has gone out, Maggie, you manage to take the net off of your friend, and the Nidorina, who is still kind of milling around there, is waiting for a command from its trainer, but it's looking around, entirely unsure what to do. It's got these Pokemon in front of it that is causing it to be a bit anxious. But it's not attacking. It's just dutifully awaiting some word from his trainer, which is currently sleeping and being tied up.
One, when I'm tying him up, I also gag him, and so he can't talk to his Pokemon. The Electrike, is it still there?
It is.
Did someone just abandon it?
Oh.
It's on the ground.
Is it dead?
Is it dead? It is not dead.
Okay, I'm
does not look
going
dead.
to attempt to stabilize it from dying.
Okay, what are you doing?
I'm going to take off my sweater, and I'm
Okay.
going to rip it up, bandage it, stabilize it to the best of my ability. And if nobody's coming for it, I'm taking it with us.
Okay, give me
If I remember
a
correctly,
medicine
it's
check.
the sleeping dude's
'Kay.
Pokemon.
It was, yes.
Yeah.
The Electrike?
Was.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we get this guy arrested,
It's at
these
18.
Pokemon are basically ours.
And I'm going to scoop it up into my arms and try and comfort the unconscious Pokemon.
Okay. It looks pretty rough, but you've bandaged it up
Hmm.
pretty well.
And I am so angry that the guy didn't call his Pokemon back when he was right there and was leaving it to die. And I kind of sit and I wait for him to wake as I hold his Pokemon, and I just sit there glaring into his face that I have tied up, and he is gagged.
It takes about another minute before the guy comes about, but he does look around. Tied, he immediately starts to struggle, but realizes it's futile pretty quickly.
You leave a Pokemon to die? Your Pokemon! And I just like shove him. I'm like, you don't deserve to have Pokemon in your life, period. And someone is coming and arresting you, and I think both Maggie and Todd would agree with me when I say we're taking these Pokemon with us.
Or setting them free.
Well, this
Give them
one
the
needs
option.
a hospital.
Well, what if I use my healing power to, help revive this Pokemon so that they can go on their way?
I don't think it works like that.
You can certainly stabilize a
Well.
Pokemon, yeah.
Yeah, but it won't up it.
No.
Right, it still needs medical care regardless.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I
Uh.
can stand up and I recall Nightshade and I start walking, carrying the unconscious Pokemon.
Todd and Maggie, what are you guys doing?
Going over to this neat arena.
Yep.
And looking at Munchkin, just be like, "Okay, go make friends." And basically gonna communicate through Munchkin to the neat arena. Hey, this is what's going on.
Sure. Your Cubone really snorts at you. Like he looks at you and he gives you a bit of sass, stomping his foot, but he rolls his eyes and eventually walks over to this other Pokemon. Can I get you to give me a persuasion roll from your Cubone?
Yeah. Oh, that's not bad, buddy. That's not bad. It's a 12. It's not bad.
Okay. Your Pokemon walks over, he crosses his arms, and he gives a bit of a mean stance towards this Pokemon. The Nidorina stands a little bit taller than him, so he has to cock his head up to look at it. And you hear him just sort of grumbling. And the Nidorina snorts a few times and looks around, still trying to understand what is happening. It keeps looking over towards its trainer, wondering why its trainer isn't getting up.
Well, you see, and I kind of get down on my knees and look at it. He's not gonna be around for very long, so you can either be free, or you can come with us. Your choice.
Okay. Give me a Pokemon handling check.
Okie dokie. 16.
16. All right. The Pokemon looks at you and it kind of acknowledges your hand resting on one of your knees, and it nuzzles you softly.
Alright. Guess you're with us then. Let's go.
The man who is tied up struggles a little bit harder as he looks at you. Still being gagged, he can't really say much.
Hey man, Pokemon poaching ain't cool. Just saying.
Just fucking leave them behind. Fuck that guy.
Yeah, I mean we'll call the authorities and we'll head out of here.
Before we do that, I am going to use my healing power to, bring my Oddish back to life.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So at this
Yeah, so
moment,
he's-
none of
so
your
he's out of commission, but
Yeah, so none of your Pokemon are at risk of expiring at the moment. They're all resting. But you do have a few Pokemon who are currently unconscious and will definitely need the attention of a Pokemon Center once you're back to civilization.
Blair walked considerably away, but not away from them, and turned around and waited and has just been watching.
So this guy is tied up by the side of one of the trailers next to the front of this lumber compound. He doesn't seem to be at much risk of doing much of anything. He can't even really scream at this point in time, and he's just kind of wriggling there angrily. His other stooges seem to have departed through some other means that you did not see. But you do note a few other figures approaching you, figures that you previously forgotten, the sentries that you had left in front of the base. Both of them, this large dog with the massive maw standing taller than either of the girls. The other one, the other creature with the large maw, the great big discs on top of its head that seem to project sound. Both of them are stomping their feet and gnashing their teeth and moving towards you aggressively.
The ones at the gate?
The ones who you had left sleeping just outside
Yeah, but sorry,
the perimeter.
Like Todd and Maggie or me?
Coming towards all of you guys.
I'm off from where they are.
You would have. So where exactly would you have moved in?
I walked at least 100 feet away and have just been watching and waiting for them.
Okay, so it
I
would
was done with.
So these
that.
two would have been closer to you then. So they would have been advancing on your position then. As they do so aggressively, you hear the sound of something far off into the distance go. The heavy sound of wing beats as they flap towards you, and hot, almost unbearable heat as it rains down on top. A line of fire carves a path between you and the other Pokemon, and these two Pokemon, knowing no better, just turn and run off into the forest. The Moltres, high overhead, flaps and lands in front of the fort.
I think that's a sign we did good today, guys. You ready to get our guys and this one back to Pokemon Center?
Yeah, let's go. You too. I
Way we
kind of
go.
go with the Nidorina.
The Nidorina follows. It looks a few times at its old master as you walk away, but it follows behind your footsteps. Follows in your footsteps.
That's right. No gods, no masters.
No gods, no masters. Is that what we're leaving this off on? God, I hope so.
This is an anarchist Pokemon game now.
No.
As you guys exit the fort and start wandering off into the forest, you all see the Moltres standing at the edge of the forest, just watching you, regarding you.
It was a pleasure to have even had a moment to meet you, Moltres.
Keeping it real.
Todd just gives him a nod, like that one that you give your rose when you walk down the street.
And it nods back at you before it
Yeah.
picks up off of the ground and starts to fly away.
And then is it like the Jurassic Park theme in the background, or?
Yeah. It takes off and disappears over top of the hill like a red comet shooting. You guys note that between all your events and all of this, it has gone well past the afternoon and going into the evening. You note as the sun, this far into the mountains, disappears quite quickly behind the mountains themselves, being large obstructions in the distance. The way that it does so passes through the variant ambient clouds and air, and you note as the red comet appears again, it itself shines its own red light across the horizon, giving everything this bright red, mystical sort of glow to it.
Well, that was something I'll remember. And I can't wait to write about it.
Certainly an experience. And hey, we may have not gotten Moltres, but at least we got some friends. Right, guys?
We freed a Pokemon that was a prisoner. This is everything that Todd set out to do. This is a great day.
It's a really great day, and you guys are an interesting group of people, and I hope to pass your pass again. It's been a hard day.
Good one, Brains.
I just put my head down, push my glasses up.
All right. And that is probably a good time to end this one. We'll say you guys either decided to head back to town together or went your separate ways after this, with
gotta
fond
get to a
memories of
Pokemon
what
Center.
just happened. With various hurt
Separate
Pokemon
ways.
in your midst, you sought medical care and went on your journeys as Pokemon trainers. Is there anything you guys would like to say in closing your Pokemon journey?
After the Electrike is healed, does it choose to come with me, or do I release it?
I guess we'll find out next time.
Okay.
Womp womp womp.
Blah, blah, blah. Next time I play Blair in a one shot.
Maggie, what is Maggie's journey look like from here? What is her next goal?
Probably just gonna head on to one of the next gyms
Very nice.
with hopefully that neat arena in tow. Cause all mine are itty bitty babies, and I need one that's not an itty bitty baby.
And Todd.
Todd takes his Oddish and a Geodude to a Poke Center to get them all fixed up, and he's really passive aggressive with the people working at the Poke Center because he has, objections to, their structural support of, systemic Pokemon slavery. But he gets his Pokemon healed up, and then they head back out to look for more Pokemon that need to be freed. That's it.
Awesome. I imagine on your way back, your Pidgey probably evolves into a Pidgeotto.
Fuck yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right.
I would just attempt to befriend the Electrike after it and spend some time in whatever city's closest documenting my findings on the Moltres.
Nice. Nice.
Maybe going back to the area in which we found it to find anything that is worthwhile of evidence that they were there. The Moltres, that is.
Yeah. Very nice. All right, guys. What did you think of Pokemon D&D?
That was confusing.
No, that's fair. That's fair. There's a reason why I
find
refer
regular
to it.
5e. Yeah, I find regular 5e confusing, and this was extra confusing.
I run multiple 5e games, so I understand the 5e system flawlessly.
Right.
It's the Pokemon mechanics that I was like, hold on.
Yeah, there's a reason I refer to this as like character sheets the game. It's not like I get to
Big
memorize
time.
my one guy and just do that
Oh, yeah,
thing that
100%.
he does. I can memorize his
Yeah.
sheet. It's like, well, now I gotta memorize 4, 5, 6 sheets at a time and juggle them.
Yeah, and it's tough. Like, I know more or less what my most commonly used Pokemon with Brook do and like what their stats are, and I can do it pretty quickly, but like popping in a new character as Brook or popping in as Blair and playing with all the characters that I don't play with frequently, it's like, okay, bite, okay, and I add strength. Fuck, what's their strength score again? Have to scroll up on it's tough. It's tough to remember what everybody can do all the time.
But it was very fun. Thank you
always
for
fun.
running a very fun one shot for us.
Thank you for joining
Yeah, I
us.
appreciate it.
No, thank you guys for being a part of this. This is the most fun I've had telling a story in a while. This is great.
Aw.
Very much so. All right. Well, I know everybody has places to be, so Alyssa, remind us again where we can find you.
You can find me on Twitter at the Lighter Art.
Awesome. Alex?
You can find me and a whole bunch of other fun people on Twitter as @theHouseOfBob, or on your favorite podcast app of choice as the House of Bob, or you can find me once or twice a year on Twitch as the Astro Guy.
Nice. Melissa?
You can find me here sometimes. And the Rusty Bucket on Instagram with my art and crochet. I don't want to say I'm half as good as these guys, but I'm okay.
Special shout outs and thank yous go to Alyssa of the Lighter Arts for the character tokens that we used here today and the ones that we use every day when we play Pokemon D&D. We very much appreciate having them and using them. Thank you to Kevin McLeod of Incompetech.com for the music you're hearing right now, and I think basically every other tune you heard over the course of this episode. Thank you to Mikkel_Beats for the Pokey and Chill soundtrack, and thank you to Joe the DM, also on Twitter, for the Pokemon 5e homebrew that we are playing. You can find out more about that at www.pokemon5e.com. Next up is another Pokemon D&D on Monday. Back to our regular session. Matt is streaming more Cyberpunk on the 12th. That's the Tuesday. And then our regular Friday stream is video games, whatever they be, here in quarantine land. So, yeah. Any other closing remarks, guys?
Nope. Gonna go make apple pie.
No, I'm good.
All right.
I
Well,
can play another D&D game.
oh, living the dream.
I don't know, man. As forever DM, suddenly all my players have decided they want to DM. And now they're like, no, because you DM for us all the time, you have to be in all of our games. I'm like, oh no. So many.
How the turntables.
Right?
How the turntables.
How the table.
All right.
Okay, well, that's all I got. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. It was a lot of fun, and we will see you all next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.